Studio, back in action.
You know what? Can I pee before we do this? I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're right here.
You're a forgiving man.
Oh, Harry Mack's peeing in my bathroom.
In case you didn't hear what I said for subtitles, I said, wow, Harry Mack's peeing in my bathroom.
Man, Harry Mack's got flow.
I said, man, Harry Mack's got flow. I'm sure you could hear it, but I also might say that joke to him, so if I do, I don't think we need to keep them both in.
Baby, lock the doors and turn the lights down low. I could hear you pee.
Oh, yeah.
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 And I said, man, Harry Mack's got some good flow.
Hey! Yes.
But,
It's
we'll probably keep in the first one, not this one.
Right. No, I think the retelling is good.
Are you a headphone boy or no?
I'm down to just rock the headphones if it's not a weird look. Yeah.
No, it's not a weird look. I do them too.
Cool. I'm a rapper, so I'm quite used to. But you haven't heard?
Oh yeah, I've seen you do some stuff. No, but do you still do that? I thought you were I thought you were a drummer.
No. It's all a lie.
You don't drum?
I don't drum. It's all raps.
Nice. I like raps.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah. See,
that's nice.
That's good.
That's nice.
So I saw this clip from the girl from Titanic.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Rose.
No, the actress that plays Rose's daughter when they're grown up.
Oh, I'm not sure.
We'll put up a picture of her here.
Yeah.
Find a picture where she looks like this, and then do a side by side. We have fun here.
Yes.
But Kate Winslet is also in that movie.
Yes.
And there's a clip. Maybe we'll show it.
It's my first time.
This is your first time doing it? Okay, well, guess what? When we do this interview, it's going to be the most amazing interview ever.
Okay.
And do you know why?
Why?
Because we've decided that it is going to be. So we've decided right now, me and you, this is going to be a really fantastic interview.
Okay.
And you can ask me anything that you want, and you don't have to be scared. Everything's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Okay, you got this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
So this is my first interview since seeing that clip, and that clip changed everything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I now want to do something I've never done before.
Okay.
And we could edit around this too if there's anything you need to tell me. But
sure.
What could we do to make this the most comfortable for you?
Oh my God. Well, to be quite honest, I already feel very comfortable. This is a nice couch.
There's some back support pillows on the floor for you, should you choose.
You know what? I'm pretty tall, so I'm filling this in. This is great. This is great.
Okay.
I have this water available to me. Am I just drinking straight out of the bottle?
Would you like a glass? I could get you a glass. It might be fun to have a glass.
Yeah, let's do a glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't call me the glassman for nothing.
Bars.
This episode is sponsored by Kiva Confections Edibles. And if you know me, you know I have been using these edibles for years. Here's a little secret that you'll find out later in the episode. I took one of these just before the episode started. If you are having trouble sleeping, you got to check out their CBN infused edibles. And if you're in California, we have a code for you to do just that. Visit Kiva Confections, CONFECTIONS.com/Tyso, and use code Tyso to get 30% off your entire edible order, drop shipped straight to your door. Also, if you're not in California, I guess you can't use that code, but check out your dispensaries because these are the best edible chocolates I've ever had. This episode is sponsored by Helix Mattress. And I'm not just selling you the thing. I'm a user. I sleep on it, baby. Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows to our listeners. Go to Helix Sleep, HELIXSLEEP.com/Tyso and get up to 20% off your mattress and 2 free pillows. I'll tell you a little bit more about in the episode. This episode is brought to you by Champions, a hilarious and heartwarming new comedy from iconic director Bobby Farrelly, something about Mary Dumb and Dumber, starring Woody Harrelson, Caitlin Olsen, and Cheech Marin. Champions is only in theaters March 10th. I watched the trailer. It looks very, 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 very good. Check out the trailer at champions.movie. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later in the episode. I'm going to keep this quick, and then we're going to get back to the episode. March 16th, I'm headlining the Irvine Improv. Are you in Southern California and want to come out and watch me do the Irvine Improv on March 16th at 8 p.m.? Then check out the link in the description where you could buy tickets. What's that, Harry Mack?
It's all a lie.
Okay, here we come.
Beautiful. Beautiful pour. No drippage. No waste.
But comfort doesn't just mean like physical comfort. In fact, I find that physical comfort actually comes with a sense of spiritual comfort.
Yes, I agree.
So what can we do? Not that you're uncomfortable. What can we do, like, you know what I mean, to make you
achieve a deeper level of spiritual comfort?
Yeah, and that could be earned throughout. No expectations.
Well, I think it will be gradual. You know, I think it will definitely be gradual. We'll ease into a deeper spiritual state, but perhaps we could take a deep breath together.
Do you do that sometimes before your Omegles?
Yes.
Not Omegles. What is it called when you tighten your prostate?
Kegels.
Thank you.
Kegels.
Do you do that before your Kegels?
I do it while I'm doing the Kegel.
Nice.
Yeah, they kind of flow together.
How do you feel before? This is not the interview yet, but this
beautiful.
is like a warm up. This
Sure.
is like an improv. It's called Zip Zap Zop.
Okay.
When you're cycling, it's breathing and putting your shoulders back.
Yes.
But basically, my question for you is: before an Omegle,
yeah,
how do you feel?
Before I start filming an Omegle?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel a bit of doubt, you know?
A doubt on your ability or a doubt on them receiving you well?
Doubt on them receiving me well. Just like a general doubt that it's going to work out. You know, it's like, here we go again. Is this really going to amount to anything? Are we going to get any usable content from this? What are we really doing here? How could it possibly work?
For people that don't know what Omegle is, we'll swipe to a clip. We're not going to show a whole thing, but just to show it. And could you also explain it for the audio people?
Absolutely, yeah. So Omegle is a joyful little website that randomly matches you via video chat with a stranger on the internet from anywhere across the world.
Yo, what's up?
Hello.
Can I do a freestyle rap for you guys?
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Yes. That was so good!
And you use that to improvise your raps to them.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use that to connect with strangers. I ask them for 3 words usually. Sometimes I ask them for song topics. And then I take whatever they give me and in the moment convert it into
No food, no
rap.
animals. That's a new thing for you, though.
That's a new thing for me. Yeah.
People are always saying lions and chickens.
Always.
Is chicken a food or an animal?
It's both. So it's completely off limits. Like it could never fly.
Right.
Even on if I'm feeling a bit more lax.
How ironic that one of the main words you won't use, as confident as you are chicken, because of how scared you are.
It's true. It's true.
You ask for 3 words, and then there's some jump cuts, and then you do it. I assume you write the 3 words down, right?
I don't.
Never.
No, I never
Always
do.
thought that you write them down.
No, I don't write them down. That's why I forget so often. Like if you watch enough of the videos, you'll realize so often I get maybe the first word, the second word, and then for the third word, I often find myself having to ask them to repeat it.
Admittingly, I've probably seen over 100. I reached out to you, your Instagram a while ago, and then your manager happened to message me when he saw me on something. But legitimately, I've been a fan of yours for a long time.
Oh,
never seen you mess up forget a third one.
Really? Okay, yeah. So good. So I'm doing a decent job. But I also want to just express some gratitude, man. Thank you so much for watching the videos.
Yeah, man.
It means a lot to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Omegle ones are fun. I'm a sucker for musicians in general.
Yeah.
And that is when you see people find you.
Yeah.
Recently, you've been posting a few where people are getting excited. They already know you.
Yes.
Or at least, oh, you're that rap guy. Like, I'm like, show him some fucking respect. Know his name. But most times they don't.
Right.
And when you see people like whatever, and then like tap in, that's what gets me going. That's like the Shark Tank effect.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's the whole story arc for basically all of our content, you know, converting skeptics to believers. Because to be quite honest, when you see me pop up and you have 0 context and I tell you that I'm going to do a freestyle rap for you, I mean, your assumption 99.9% of the time is this guy's probably going to suck, you know? Like, I just don't think it's going to be great.
Where do you get that statistic? I know it's hyperbolic, but I'm saying, what makes you even think that that's what they're projecting?
Because I think 99.9% of the time somebody says that to you, it's not very good.
Wait, it says what to you?
Hey, can I do a freestyle for you?
Wait a minute. I don't have a big enough sample. I've never had 1,000 people ask me to do that. But those that have said it to me, I would argue that more than half are at least decent. Why say it if you're not? Hey, can I draw a picture of you? And then you're like, yeah, do it. And then it's just like some shitty picture. You're like, why did you fucking ask me that?
That's fair. That's fair. You know, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people freestyle very casually, you know, which is beautiful. I've seen you freestyle casually, and I find it incredibly entertaining.
Joke be nothing but fire breaching the girth, breaching your worth. Lord Jesus Christ is taking the earth. I scorched. I heard it when I heard it. Lord above a 39. I push it in cleavage, F in the night and cordon. It's done. Hitting up on my factory. That's that. I'm in factory, mastery. Back to the back, tactory, tack, take it back to me. Now I live it and love it and taking living in the vision. Yeah, and now we hold it on his hose on. Yeah, take a look inside my soul. It's black as fuck. Yeah, but it's black and gold. Yeah, I'm young, bitch, but I'm also young and old. I say I got a hot ass, but my ass is hot and cold. Cause sometimes I do, sometimes I don't want it. No, sometimes I don't want it. No, do not go into know how it goes if you can't bop, bitch, come to the back door.
I hope we get to freestyle at some point.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm most excited for. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel
You tell me you were excited. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, that just scared me and annoyed me, and we can leave it in, but I'm sorry. let's get back to where we were.
Yes. Kegels.
Please continue with the idea that you feel that you are categorized as those other people out there who are claiming they could do something they can't.
Yes. I think that's how it comes across. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure that there's a lot of freestylers on Omegle in particular that have really worked hard and developed the craft. So I think the assumption automatically would be like, oh yeah, I don't know. They don't have a high expectation for me to be great.
Is that people or is that Omegle? Meaning when you do it in person on the street,
yeah,
do you have that same thought that they're going to be like, he's not going to be good?
Similar thought, but I think in person it's a little different. It's more so, is this guy trying to sell me something or con me into, there's a lot of people out there who will hand you their CD as though it's a gift, and then, what's your name? And then they'll sign it for you, and then they'll say that's $20, and if you don't give them the $20, they get pissed.
I have a move that I do when people hand me CDs now, which I'm all for the hustle.
Me too.
But I'm also all for self-comfort.
Yes. Boundaries.
A little bit more on the latter. Yeah. People, when they give me stuff, I go, oh, you gave me this already. It's awesome.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's genius.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It is lying, but I feel like you're lying to me too. When you go, hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Right.
Like, don't pretend like you know me.
No. And the premise that it's a gift is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a gift that you eventually have to pay for. That's not really a gift.
Yeah, and it's like the gift that God gave this musician was never something that he said, or she, I believe God is a woman.
Yes, me too. Birthed the entire universe. Must have
doesn't ask to be paid back.
No. Gulp. No, I don't have to pay for the gift of rap.
So I want to go back into you being like, you're not confident going in because when does the confidence come? Beat drop?
I got to get one good one under my belt.
Right.
Yeah. One good, solid performance, good reaction. Okay. I think we can do this.
Do you feel a difference once you have that?
Yes. I feel much lighter.
I'm going to say a statement. Tell me how much you agree with this and then why and why not.
Okay.
That one win that you get, that first rhyme or whatever.
Yes.
Does that allows you to then, gives you more allowance to then fail?
Yes.
After. So you could kind of abandon thought.
Yeah.
Could you expand on that and explain how that works? Because I feel that way with comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess before I have a good one, I just feel rather unsure that it's even going to be possible or that it will work out in any capacity.
What is it being possible?
Me doing a good performance and getting a good reaction from the audience. You know, it just seems, for whatever reason, no matter how many times I've done it, it still feels kind of far-fetched when I'm going in cold. You know, it's like no matter how many reps I put in, at this point, it's ridiculous. Like people are like, dude, there's hours of videos of you on the internet doing this successfully. You know, you should probably just accept outright that you can do it. But that's not really the case. Every time I sit down, it's like I'm starting from scratch. I don't think this is going to work out. We'll just have to see. And then after the first one, you know, to your point, it's like this weight of pressure is suddenly relieved. You know,
just from one rhyme.
Just from one. You know, yeah, it's like, okay, we got this.
Do you have a significant amount of failures that you don't post? Because it seems like your batting average is 1,000. Of course, that's what you share. But what are those misses look like and how often?
Sure. Occasionally there are misses. A lot of times the miss comes down to, it wasn't a great reaction, or, the energy was just low for whatever reason. Sometimes it's like I couldn't extract new good words from people, because there's some words that have just been used so many times over.
What's an example?
Orange, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Good thing they didn't say banana.
Weren't you glad? Other words, every animal.
I've seen 2 supercalifragilisticexpialidocious that you've done.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, the thing
Bleep,
about that.
bleep when I said that.
Yeah, it's thank you. It's a crowd pleaser every time, but for me, it's like, oh, we've done that a million times. Cat, dog, shoes,
Those
cheese.
first, the first 2 and the last one, would you agree, are also all foods?
Cat and yeah, sure. Depending on
Careful.
Careful.
Careful. When you fail and or you don't feel in the pocket for the first however long, minute or whatever.
Sure.
Is there something in your head where you're like, fuck this, I'm not going to share it, but you continue anyway? And or I'm just going to reach big to see if I could recover this?
That is a great question.
Thanks.
So,
and we'll get that answer right after a word from our sponsors.
My name's Kylie. I took a picture of my cat, Dorothy, and I'm going to send it to my family. I plug this thingy in here. Now I click this. I'm going to make this picture much better. I click. It's better. I'm going to send it to my mom and dad. Say cheese. I'm a PC, and I'm 4.5.
Also, my girlfriend told me I can't keep saying that is a great question. So now I'm going to try to just internalize that. It's a habit I have, apparently.
In real life or just in these types of situations?
In these types of situations, yeah. I lead all of my answers with that is a great question.
That's like when I was a waiter, I used to always say fantastic.
Yeah,
oh, that's delicious.
Oh, that's good. It's positive. Yeah. It's positive.
Fantastic choice. Yeah. They got a root beer, dude.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. So it kind of depends on my mood, Sometimes I'll make a mistake early on, or something will go in a way that wasn't perfect by my standard. And depending on my mind state at the time, there are times where I'll say, okay, it's time to recover and just dig deep and crush this.
What does that feel? What does that look like? What does that mean? Is that thinking of a word in advance quickly? Is that believing in yourself?
Great question. I guess, there I go again.
Wait a minute. You're going to say great question because that's the thing you do.
Yes.
Let me feel like I asked a good question and let you not censor yourself so we can find that pocket.
Beautiful. I love it. Digging deeper. I don't know exactly what it is. It's a feeling, If I stutter a word or forget a word and have to ask to have it reminded, I just come back in with this super razor sharp focus and I start crushing it. And I think I do more of a dense rhyme kind of thing. I squeeze more, I pack more rhymes in closer together.
Why? Why can't you do that then and not before you decide to dig deeper?
I think it has to do with focus. Mm-hmm. My focus is a little more casual in the beginning,
By casual focus, are you also saying limited, you're not as present?
Yes. Yes.
So by focusing or by digging deep, you mean becoming more present?
Yes.
So you could do that like that?
Yes.
Why not always do that? Great question. Cut back to him about to say it.
Great question. I probably should do it every time. But for whatever reason, I feel like I need a trigger or a reminder. When I first start, it's kind of like, I'm dishing out some rhymes. Here we go. We're having fun. I'm dishing out rhymes. And then as soon as I stutter or stammer on a word or something pulls me into the moment and it's like, hey man, this is difficult. Mm-hmm. This is not automatic. This requires a high level of focus. As soon as I get that reminder, it's like a sort of like a slap in the face. And then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, we're here.
You're from Portland, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you bullied?
Little bit.
You have a siblings?
Yeah, older sister, 3 years older.
What was your relationship like with her?
We fought as kids, but we're friends now.
But as growing up, you felt back up against the wall sometimes?
Occasionally at school, not with my sister. She was overall we were friends, But I got pushed into a locker in middle school.
Dork.
Somebody stole. No, it's true. Somebody stole my science project.
What'd you make?
I had made a Alka-Seltzer rocket.
So just a bottle of soda and a Mentos, or an Alka-Seltzer?
Well, I created a cardboard shell for it.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Like the wings.
Yeah, I made it look pretty.
I asked because it's what a superpower it is to have developed when you make a mistake and or feel not good or weak. You could just be like, all right, and kind of Goku up. I don't mean that as a blanketed statement. I'm just saying that powering up is something that you could do like that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's really useful. I think I hate making mistakes. And when I make it, it just triggers this thing in me where I'm like, okay, fuck that. Now we're really doing it. Next level. We're turning it up a notch.
Does that translate outside of your art?
I think so, to a degree, but it's probably most concentrated in my art. I'm very obsessed with freestyling. I'm very obsessed with craft.
Same.
Obsessed with craft. I love practicing, like to an obsessive degree.
You said your girlfriend tells you say something too much, so she obviously watches a lot of the things you do?
Yes, she's very supportive.
How do you feel about doing it in front of her over and over? Do you feel like she might think the magic trick is lost?
I do sometimes think that, but and she doesn't watch everything that I make because she hears so much of it. You know, all through COVID, we lived in a very small back house together, and so there was just one thin wall between my studio and her office where she was working. So just for hours on hours, I'm screaming raps, you know, full passion, and she's hearing all of it. And she told me she got to a point where it basically neutralized. Like she didn't hear it. It just became like white noise.
I'm picturing whatever this townhouse has a shared wall behind you.
Yeah.
And we rap on this podcast all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
And I'm just picturing the same thing. Whenever I'm doing it, I'm often thinking about somebody back there being like, dude, this isn't it.
Yeah. And what's funny is it's just the acapella. It's so exposed. They don't hear the beat. So like in your headphones, you're killing it. You know, you're in the pocket, you're aligned with the beat. It's giving you that energy. But to them, it's just some guy yelling.
But we could do it without a beat.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beats are acapella.
Yeah. Fuck a beat, I'll go acapella. Fuck a Paco Doc. Fuck all y'all who doubt me.
Yes.
I'm a piece of white trash and I sing it proudly.
Yes.
But
8 Mile.
Is that from something?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a biter, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I do have TMJ disorder. And boy, is my jaw tired. Clip it. How long you and your girl been together?
We've been together for about 5 years now.
It will be 5 years in June, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How'd you know that?
Let's just say she and I talk.
Whoa, man. Whoa, man.
Woman.
Whoa, man.
Woman.
I need some water.
No, I just guessed. I guess a lot. I'm a good deducer, though, because
yes.
When you say pretty much, or when someone says pretty much or basically or almost,
right?
I know that it means, for example, this is probably coming out in March. So let's say this is March now.
Yeah.
If it's March right now,
right,
and you were to say almost, or it means it's not going to be this month, and chances are it's not going to be next month.
Okay.
Because if it was next month or within a month, you'd say about to be, or something like that.
Sure.
So that means it's either 2 or 3. 4 is too far away. So I mean, it's really not guessing 12 months. It's really just guessing 2.
Yeah, this is incredible, man. You've developed this.
This is my skill set.
Yeah. What's that called? A mentalist?
Mm-hmm. A mentalist.
Yeah.
Think of any number.
Okay.
What is it?
8.
Yep.
He's good. He's good.
I couldn't pick up on a lot of things as a kid, and even as an adult, it's hard for me to even believe people, because I don't believe that people even know what they're thinking, let alone they can communicate it to me authentically.
Sure.
So I used to ask a ton of questions, still kind of do.
Yeah.
But like I've developed some cool little tricks.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you're gonna probably have to take a poop tonight. Why didn't you go this morning?
I did go this morning.
Edit that out. Say, how did you know that?
How did you know that?
Well, like I said, it's my superpower.
This guy's a genius.
So, I really want to get more into what I'm always thinking about when watching.
Yeah.
Is where your mind is.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you see somebody turn and be like so impressed?
It fires me up. Yeah, it fires me up, which is silly. I think, I thrive off the energy of the audience.
I got to show an example.
Yeah, please.
H-Mac, y'all know they believe in my rap. Shout to my homie right there with the C on his cap. To these other rappers, we are not related. The C on the cap, it be standing for creative. Matter of fact, yo, it stands for coward. That's why all these other rappers are they get devoured. I'm a real king, y'all know I ain't never been a fake lord. Roll over instrumentals like I'm on a skateboard. H-Mac coming through with the sick trick. I'm about to hit the 360 kickflip.
And we're back.
So that confidence versus the confidence of stumbling and like, I'm going to lean in.
Yeah.
Where does the success confidence differ from the backs against the wall confidence?
I think the back against the wall confidence is more powerful.
Because why? Is it like, fuck this?
Yeah, because I have to prove myself. And my whole career as a freestyler has been based on that concept. It's like, I'm entering a space where there's no context or no reason to believe that I should be good necessarily.
Tell me why.
Just because if you don't know anything about me, I guess at best, in spite of the crazy statistic I threw earlier, at best it's like
an outrageous statistic, by the way.
yeah. 1 in 1,000 people are good at freestyling. No, who claim they can freestyle. 1 in 1,000
Big
people
difference.
who offer to freestyle for you publicly.
Big difference.
You're right. The statistic is bullshit. Edit that out or leave it. It's bullshit. But at best, if you know nothing, I would say it's 50-50. Right?
Like guessing what month your anniversary is.
Exactly. And you were off by 1. Which
wasn't.
Is
Oh, is it not June?
Surprisingly close. It's July.
Oh, you said yes.
Yeah, but I just, you know.
Oh, July 14th. I remember because of Con Air.
My daddy is coming home on July 14th.
Yeah, my whole career has been based on proving myself to people who have zero context. So I'm always going in with nothing. You know, I haven't written it down ahead of time, obviously. I don't know what I'm going to say. There's zero plan. And it's based entirely on the random input that's being given to me by a stranger who at best is 50-50 on whether or not I'm going to be good. And the whole thing is I'm going to attempt to prove that I'm great over the course of the freestyle. So that proving myself thing is what gets me excited. And it's what I think it's what drives, you know, the passion behind it.
When you're going in person versus Omegle.
Yes.
On Omegle, it's easier to kind of leave the other person, literally.
Yeah.
Once you turn it off, it's like, oh.
Right.
In person, after you stop, there's still the walk away time.
Yes.
Is there a different kind of confidence going for Omegle because you could run away, or is it the other way around? Like, I'm here, I better fucking nail it.
Definitely, it's less nerve-wracking on Omegle because I'm sitting in my studio. You know, I'm in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like you said, I could just hit exit twice and go on to the next person. They might skip me. Very low commitment. In public, it's more nerve-wracking.
How many do you do at a sitting, Omegles?
In Omegle, we usually end up with 9 to 12 separate clips, separate interactions.
You said we a few times. What was that?
Just me and my team. I always refer to it as we.
Are they there with you while you do it?
Not while I do it. I send all the clips to one of my team members who sort of sorts them into episodes, and then another person edits them into the episode, and then they come out to the people.
I want to acknowledge something.
Yeah.
I don't want to apologize for it unless I'm doing something poorly. But like I said, I've been a fan of yours for a while, and I have so many. I'm feeling myself just like asking you questions as opposed to just like talking.
I love it, man.
Are we okay?
I'm very comfortable. I feel happy.
Good.
Yeah.
I feel like people who are listening who don't know you well.
Yeah.
We've already showed a couple clips, but I want to give them a little taste of something.
Yeah.
And then I still want to do more, but like, let's do that after we know each other a little bit.
Sure.
But could I put you on the spot to give us a taste?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Nice. I know you like words.
Yeah.
But instead of giving you a word,
yeah,
I'd like to give you an emotion.
Okay.
I'd like to give you emotion, a feeling.
Yeah.
But I might want to every now and then call out a new one.
Sure. Take me on a journey, man.
All right. And the name of this song, by the way,
is
Take Me on a Journey, man.
Let's go.
Some steaks with half pizza, half Italian cheese sticks is back, so you'll never fight over dinner again.
Oh, that was the ad.
You're constipated.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. What I eat, it's something fucked up. Normally I flow, but now I'm stuck up. Damn, Chinese food, what I'm guessing. Can't seem to maneuver that through my intestines. Damn, I should be shitting here. Instead, I'm just sitting here. Damn, it's depressing. I keep going back to that restaurant. Guess I'll never learn my lesson.
You hungry now?
Yeah. Yes, indeed I am. Where should I go? God damn. Back to that restaurant, love the flavors they're creating. Should I be swayed by the window sign? D rating. I probably shouldn't go. I mean, I'm really not close. 20-minute drive on the floor, saw a cockroach. Orange chicken so delicious. Without it, I miss this. I need that flavor now. This is real, not fictitious.
Okay. First of all,
yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
Second of all, watch this. No. My funny stuff, Harry Mack. Or Rick, that was funny what you said just now. Hi, I'm Rick Glassman from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast, and this episode is sponsored by Helix Sleep. Like I said earlier, I don't just talk about the mattress, I am a user. It's a great mattress. Also, I found out some stuff that I've never talked about before. Helix supports military, first responders, teachers, and students by giving them a special discount on the site. Here's the deal. You can take a sleep quiz. It says here it's 2 minutes. It took me maybe a minute. Figure out what kind of mattress you want to sleep on. It's delivered straight to your door. Try it out 100 nights risk-free. Plus, it comes with a 10 to 15-year warranty. If you're not sure, sleep on it for 3 months. Then send it back. But I'll tell you this much. Zoom in. You're probably going to want to keep it. Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows to our listeners. Excuse me, there's an exclamation point. For our listeners! Go to helixsleep.com/Tyso. This is our best offer yet, and it won't last long! With Helix, better sleep starts meow. I'm sorry. That was the cat. Better sleep starts now. This episode is sponsored by Kiva Confections. So, I've been talking about these chocolates for years. In fact, when we had them sponsor an episode recently, I loved seeing so many comments of people actually excited for me that we finally got them as a sponsor because I've been plugging them in so many episodes. If I'm not mistaken, the first episode of Tyso recorded, I was high on these. So for somebody who eats these as often as I do, I would call myself a lightweight. 5 milligrams and I'm set. Each piece is 5 milligrams. If you've never done this before, I advise not trying more than 5 your first time. Sometimes I give somebody even 2.5, which I take if I don't want to get too high. It's the most consistent high I've ever had. I haven't tried every edible out there, but the reason I'm almost exclusive to Kivas is because it's my favorite high. I always know what I'm getting. If I take 2.5, if I take 5, it's the best. I mean, it's plain as day, my friends. For everyone in California, we have a code for you to get some sweet dreams tonight. Try our CBN infused edibles. Go to kivaconfections.com/Tyso. That's kivaconfections.com/Tyso and use code Tyso to get 30% off your entire edible order dropped straight to your door. This episode is brought to you by Champions, the movie. Like I said earlier, I watched the trailer. It's very good. It's a very, well, I haven't seen it, but I have to imagine it's a very feel-good movie. Let me tell you what this says. Woody Harrelson stars in the hilarious and heartwarming. Heartwarming is pretty much feel-good. If I'm wrong, tell me in the description the difference. I'm sure you could find some nuance, but come on, that's feel-good. Story of a former minor league basketball coach who, after a series of missteps, is ordered by the court to manage a team of players with intellectual disabilities. He soon realizes that despite his doubts, together this team could go further than they ever imagined. Listen, you got a guy who's like Mighty Ducks scenario where now he's got to go coach the people that he doesn't want to coach, and it turns out they're not just learning from him, he's learning from them. You got a star-studded cast. We got great story. We got basketball. We got a trailer that I love, Champions.movie. Check out the trailer. And by the way, this movie, Champions, is only available in theaters on March 10th. Check it out. I had some questions about the way your thought process works, and I wanted it to be a little different from you having the words, from it being something immediate.
Yeah.
Because you have to think of stuff in advance.
Yes.
You also can't think of too many things. Maybe you can.
No.
Right. Maybe 2 things, or is it always one?
It honestly, it's completely linear. It's basically one thing at a time. Lock it in, and as I'm vocalizing it, it opens up just enough brain space to look to the next thing that I'm going to lock in.
Now, sometimes you have something that you have this one thing in advance sitting here, for example.
Yeah.
And then you want to find that next one. But if here already triggers you for beer, queer, fear, and deer, the big 4. Yeah. How much do you then still plan for the next thing, or just go, all right, I'm going to step back and just go in the pocket and not plan ahead? Does that question make sense?
You're basically asking, like, tell me if this is correct. How often am I committing to everything being structured as opposed to just letting go of the structure and flowing and following the whim of whatever comes to me?
Yes, but by structure, I want to remove the word structure and just say the next word, the next rhyme, the next.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, the goal is always to have the next target word.
Right.
or target concept or whatever it is. Like I thought of it's a long time I've been sitting here, and conveniently that rhymes with shitting here. You know, I should be shitting here, but instead I'm just sitting here.
Right. So when you said shitting here, you didn't have something planned.
No.
Right. But then immediately I know sitting here. So my question is, when you don't have something planned, but you always want to have that one next thing, did you have something to go to should sitting here not work?
No. I didn't have a backup ready because, you know, there's not enough time or mental RAM to do those extra things, which is what I love about freestyling is it's like, it's only just possible without any extra, you know, like
extra.
I can't revise it. I can't consider what line would have been better. I can't imagine the 4 best words to use and pick the best of the 4.
Right.
It's just completely linear.
Making choices and
on
being
the
present.
fly immediately and being present.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where I want to zoom in.
Yes.
So you think of
I love talking about this shit.
One thing in advance.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah.
What's the difference for you? Not the confidence necessarily. I know that's going to be part of it.
Sure.
But in the way your mind works.
Yeah.
From you're just starting off.
Yeah.
I don't know how nervous you were. I don't even need you to answer. But
Terrified.
you haven't done. Were you really scared to do it?
No.
But you didn't have the rhyme yet to give you the confidence.
Right.
From there to having the confidence, whether you got it now or whenever you do, are things quicker? Do you see things further away? Do you open yourself to allow more like A to C type of moments?
Yes. Yeah, it feels like the window of time widens. You know, like bullet time in the Matrix. It's almost like, okay, I can play more within the structure. In the beginning, I'm just keeping it simple. And then when I get comfortable, which is really like if I get a reaction, if I look up and you're smiling and you're nodding and it seems like you're enjoying the freestyle, I'm like, okay, dope. We're in it. And it takes this weight off of me. And then I'm able to incorporate more complexity, I guess.
Tell me about the importance of that validation.
Yeah, it's huge for me, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is. I'm very aware of it. I need that sort of, yeah, man, you're killing it.
How does that translate outside of art?
You know, I think my love language, for lack of a better word, is people saying, hey, you're doing a great job.
Words of affirmation?
Yeah, words of affirmation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I have developed a skill set for my own reasons. I would only think good or bad. I'll say good because I'm happy with what I've become.
Hell yeah.
But
and you should be.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
But specifically about allowing myself to not, this isn't a full blanketed statement.
Sure.
But it is a tool that I try and focus on.
Yeah.
Try myself not be affected by the other person so much that it limits the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Because when people are enjoying it, it also oftentimes relatively doesn't do anything to me. That combined with some other things that I find difficult in social situations.
Sure.
I'll do stand-up.
Yeah.
And have no idea how they felt about me.
Yeah.
Meaning applause and laughter, I hear it. Is that real? Is that earned? Do they mean it?
Right.
Silence, people looking confused. Do they not understand? Am I creating the tension for something that's about to happen? What I'm doing is good.
Yeah.
If I feel. The only thing I know is how I felt about what I did.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make me contingent upon other people.
Yeah.
But it is also, I think, stunted my stand-up because it's hard for me to trial and error and troubleshoot things. I
see. Yeah, because you're not necessarily considering the feedback.
I'm not recognizing enough. I very much consider it. I mean, I literally, I will ask people in real life.
Yeah.
Things like, do you like when I said that? Does that make you comfortable? Is this okay?
Right.
And what I've learned, and I said it to you from a different way at the beginning, is people don't even know how they really feel. They just know how to make this situation comfortable.
Sure.
And yeah, everything's cool, man.
Right.
That's what people say.
Right, because they don't want to get into it.
So why even ask you?
Right.
So now I have no idea.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating. I think now that we're talking through it, like a huge part of the reason why I've been successful as a freestyler is because I've been doing this rapid fire market research since I was 12 years old, freestyling in rooms with other people and seeing what works.
Market research meaning seeing the faces and the energy change.
Yeah, and paying close attention to it.
Yeah.
And feeling validated by it when it's good and feeling uncomfortable with it when it's bad. And so on a more positive tip, you know.
keep going. Sorry, that was me letting you know I'm looking, but I didn't mean to stop you.
Perfect. No. So on a more positive tip, paying attention to the feedback and kind of working for that validation, I think has allowed me to hone in on the different ways of freestyling that are really effective for the most audiences.
Yeah, what you're talking about is how I look at it is literally data.
Yes.
So however much one values the feedback they're getting to their self-worth is different than recognizing it for efficiency's sake.
100%.
And I don't have a great skill set for the latter.
Sure. But on the plus side, you're probably a lot happier on a day-to-day in some ways, because I would like to get to a place where I'm more middle of the road, especially like as a content creator with the comments and the crazy things that people say. You know, if you pay attention to the people complimenting you and you care a lot, then you're going to care a lot about when people say mean things about you.
And that happens for you.
The mean things?
And mean things and the nice things. They make you feel strongly one way or the other?
They can, yeah. I mean, I'm
what do you
also...
mean can?
Like, you know, sometimes if I read a negative comment, it'll mess up my afternoon or whatever, you know.
Wow. Could you give... No, don't. Let's not put weight to it. But I was going to ask for an example, but don't.
I see your hair's going gray. I hope you die soon. You know, actually, that one's kind of funny because it has nothing.
People are that aggressive.
Somebody said that once, but I'm also very spoiled. I have an incredibly positive community. Like it's uncanny. I mean, the comment section is so positive for the most part. So
I like to thank my goblins. Same here. When I go on other people's podcasts, it's always just this fucking Jew piece of shit. But here, everyone's very lovely.
Yes, good. You seem to be cultivating an incredible community, man.
The data that is intrinsically valuable.
Yes.
Versus the feeling that data gives. I want to kind of expand into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I agree with you that feeling, especially when what your craft isn't just music and rapping.
Right.
It's reading a room.
Yes.
And it's social and it's very specific.
Yeah.
Even true when you watch battle rappers that are going in, one, admittingly, a lot of it is written, but it can't all be because there's rebuttal.
Sure.
But those rebuttals are still conditioned with research and you're going into, it feels like a sporting event.
Right.
When you're playing basketball, you're still reading a room, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's very curated.
Yeah.
So because what you're doing is reading a room, you kind of need that immediate empathy.
Yes.
But how conditional is that, right? Like what happens when, it's showtime. You have to do something.
Yeah.
What happens when, despite your proven ability, you're reading bad energy?
Yeah. It's tough. And I think for me, it depends on if the show must go on or not. Because
what's the difference?
On Omegle, if somebody's given a real bad vibe right from the beginning during the intro conversation and it's clear they don't want to talk to me, it's all good. I'll just move on. Have a great day. Peace. If I'm doing a concert and, the people have paid to come see me and for whatever reason, the energy feels low, even though I feel like I'm trying to give everything that I can, that's a different scenario. Obviously I got to still give the best show that I possibly can out of respect to the audience and do what I can to try to save the day and save the energy and pick it up. And I found that I can kind of, like I'm saying before, dig in a little deeper, reach a little higher, give more of myself through the mic, and I have seen that work and I have been able to turn the energy up if it was low for whatever reason. But so it just depends. But I love that you mentioned the empathy and the energy read because that's such a huge component of the content that we make and me figuring out which lane to enter into as a freestyler. Like, is it going to be more comedic? Is it going to be more bar heavy and technical? Is it going to be a more emotional kind of thing, lighter, heavier? And it's all just based on the energy I'm reading off of the people.
I've made, I've developed my stand-up in a way that is so indifferent to the energy of the room.
Yes.
Not that the energy of the room doesn't matter. It matters and I recognize it. But whatever the energy is I have something to manipulate it. For better or worse, I always want better. I never know.
Yeah.
But just to acknowledge it, not saying, hey, the energy is weird, but acknowledge it by either mirroring it identically or being the antithesis of it.
Sure.
And then seeing if we could parallel out together or if we can meet in the middle and then bounce forward.
I love that.
It's very intentional, but the reason is because I just never know.
Right.
I never know.
Right.
I see people sometimes looking at me.
Yeah.
Staring at me.
Yeah.
No laughs.
Yeah.
Is this great because they're engaged? Is this bad because they're not laughing? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But I recognize it, so I play with it.
Yeah.
So you talking about you stuttering and like, fuck, all right, watch this. Stick it or lick it or love it, you know, just like whatever. It's like, I'm going to go into it because you know I got this. Versus I'm seeing the people in front of me with their arms crossed. It's not that you made a mistake, it's on them. Is there a difference between you feeling like you fucked up versus you feeling like they don't like me?
Yes. Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference. Because I know what I'm capable of as a freestyler. I practice all the time, so I know what I'm aiming for. And I know when it's kind of at the baseline, regular, good, quality, acceptable level. And I also recognize when it goes above and beyond and it's something really special.
You know based on reaction or you feel it?
I feel it. I feel it for myself.
Despite reaction or if the reaction matches?
Even despite reaction, I'm at least somewhat aware of where I'm landing in my personal ranking of it, you know?
Yeah.
And so likewise, I notice when it falls below that. So for sure, if I stutter or stammer or really like, that's what would represent an obvious mistake, right? Is that I actually...
It's interesting that you say that.
Words.
You're for those that don't know, I'm sure everybody does. You're a jazz musician.
Yes.
Study jazz. Where'd you go? USC?
USC, yep.
I think it's funny for somebody whose background is jazz to think that a stutter or a stammer is a mistake as opposed to literally the definition of being present and freestyling.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm you know what? I'm obsessed with like I said, I'm obsessed with practice and I'm trying to smooth the edges as much as possible. Right. I'm trying to make it just if there's a disconnect between what I was aiming for and what comes out of the instrument, that to me constitutes a mistake. Not that it's the end of the world or a horrible thing, just that I had the thought and it was ready, but somehow between my mind and my mouth, it got mixed up.
Why is the trust so unconditional with the thing you had in your mind? Why is the thing you had in your mind the right thing?
Right.
When before it was in your mind, it wasn't a thing.
Wow.
You know, because do you believe in there's no wrong notes when playing jazz?
There are wrong notes. If I believe in the concept of you can make any note work.
Man,
contextually.
There's a clip that I just saw. Maybe I'll swipe to it if I could find it. I want to pull it up now to show you.
Yeah.
But it's the wrong note, and and they push it on the other people on stage. He's playing some horn instrument.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. You see people on stage going like this, and then he resolves that into something that not only made that note sound good,
yes.
You couldn't have gotten to this plane had you not done that.
Yeah,
and then you see everybody's reaction like, whoa. That impressed doesn't come without the mistake.
Facts.
Which means the mistake is literally a setup.
Yeah.
Not a mistake.
Right.
I believe so much in being present and being authentic and being honest, both in art or in real life, that anything that I said, I don't mean this on a spiritual level. I mean this on a if it could happen, it will happen level.
Yeah.
Anything I said, I was supposed to.
Sure.
So I want to better understand why it's a mistake. Not that you said something even wrong.
No. I mean, you're making fantastic points, actually. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that every time I do make a mistake, much like the note that bends to this incredible resolve, right? Which is basically just this incredible tension and release.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I stutter or stammer. I create this momentary occurrence of tension where it's like, oh, is it going off the rails?
Yeah.
And then it comes in slamming like, no, because of that, we're going all the way up here and sort of giving it context. It's the same if I forget the word. I forgot the third word. Can you please remind me? And then as soon as they remind, I grab it and go crazy with it. And a lot of times people will say, did you actually forget the word? Because it seemed like that was just part of the setup to get to this incredible release. You know, and so, yeah, I mean, the more we talk about it, man, you're making a great point. I'm not sure that I could even really categorize it as a mistake, but I do think so much training with this sort of target word rhyming or setup punchline.
Target, turd, and timing. Sorry, I'm an addict.
Was that a mistake? No, not at all. And it didn't sound like one.
Yeah.
It sounded beautiful.
Thank you.
But I'm so used to this setup punchline targeting thing, and I'm so used to being half a bar ahead of what I'm speaking and sort of pre-composing almost, even though it's just momentarily ahead of when I'm saying it, that that pre-composition has sort of over time started to feel like the script. And then when I fall off of the script of what's being pre-composed half a bar ahead, I notice that disconnect.
Now let's get into it.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is literally about freestyling. I'm going to talk about my mind, and I want to hear from you.
Okay,
my mind when I do it. It's literally about freestyling, but it's not even an analogy.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, a metaphor to other things. It is directly analogous.
Yes.
To so much of me in my life and stand-up and social interactions, etc.
Yes.
Podcasting, which is, I think I'm going to talk probably for like at least a minute straight here. So just
please
put it in fast forward if you want.
Yes.
I, for a long time, struggled with stand-up for reasons that I didn't know and I didn't need to know, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. That was my mindset, which is I know I'm funny. I know I haven't figured it out yet. I know I will.
Yeah.
So what's in my control? And because I'm so controlling, I intentionally limited it to one thing.
Yeah.
Get up on stage all the time.
Get
up on stage and bomb, do well. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And in so doing that, I didn't add on to that list of master a particular set, look at the data, find the data you can. It didn't matter.
Right.
It wasn't about anything I could control. All I'm doing is honing and building my instincts.
Yeah.
I would say for 8+ years of doing stand-up, the first 8 years, I've been doing it since 2008.
Yeah.
So 15 years, was me just trusting I don't need to think about anything.
Yeah.
I think that offered me a great skill set of being very quick and having good instincts and a range of seeing something and trusting to pull it down.
Yes.
I also think it got in the way of me developing the craft of building, right?
Sure.
I know I'm almost there, but this is something I think about all the time.
I love it.
I still, in an effort to allow me to be in social situations at the least, let alone perform and speak in them,
right,
have given myself the allowance
for
survival to be like, Rick, don't think about anything. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
It's all supposed to be. You have developed great instincts.
Yes.
So with that, now I'm going to talk about freestyle. I know. This is very important to me.
This is good stuff right here.
So when it get into freestyle, which I love to do.
Yes.
I love music.
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself a musician.
Sure.
Relatively perfect pitch, amazing piano player. But what I'm saying is I can't read music. And when I am doing spoken word or freestyle, I know how to think of things in advance. And a lot of times that works.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that doesn't.
Yeah.
What I find when I think of this stuff and it doesn't work, there is no getting back in the pocket for me.
Yeah.
When I am just speaking, just whatever and not caring, making up the next word, not having it, messing up and then acknowledging whatever the thing may be, that confidence and that being present is almost the only way you know how to survive.
Yeah.
I'm about done.
Yeah.
I'm realizing stuff with you now.
Yes.
And I think that's why I do truly think a superpower of mine is being able to tap in and be present.
Yeah.
I do think that's also a defense of mine because if I'm not, I cannot be.
Yeah.
Do you ever want, seek, play in that I'm not going to think of anything and I'm going to be purely free association?
Yeah. Absolutely, I do. Yeah, I love that space. Actually, I think of freestyle as play. It's like finger painting, And I try also to be in a non-judgmental mindset when I'm freestyling. So I am accepting of everything that comes out. I don't know where it's going to go. And to your point, I love what you said about when you try to plan things out, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And when it doesn't, it completely pulls you out of the flow. I mean,
it's failed expectations. And I think expectations are so dangerous.
Yes, me too. I agree 100%. For me, it's like if you're in a cypher and the mic's going around, a common thing that might happen is while the other guy's rapping, you think about how you're going to come in. You know, something
it's
said.
Like, well, you like pardon the interruption, but in school, when you have to read out loud, and the teacher, and they go by the class and you skip every paragraph, I'm counting what paragraph am I, and I have to do 2 because I don't know, are they going the line this way?
Exactly.
And now I'm not listening to anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It ruins the whole experience.
Yeah,
you know?
You're not there anymore.
No, you're not there. You can't listen. You're so focused on how you're going to sound.
Right.
You know, and it's all about me.
Focusing on self, man.
Yeah, no, it's a huge barrier to being able to improvise.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I genuinely believe that. It's the judgment of self that's a barrier to being able to improvise well and be in the moment. And so whenever I'm planning, whenever I get caught in that trap of plan, I'm gonna come in with this line. Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Oh, think of some multisyllabic. Oh, dude, this is gonna be
I like how
fire.
when you get excited about a word, it's like little comes.
Yes, exactly. It's little comes every time. Multisyllabic. So it's like, you know, almost every time I've done that, it's always fucked up. It's never worked. And then the first line of my freestyle, I say something, it gets jumbled, it comes out weird. Everyone looks at me like, what was that? And then thank God, because in that moment, I'm able to just let go of everything.
Right.
And
That's
it's like
back
this
against the
huge
wall,
sigh of
lets you
relief.
shine.
Yeah. And almost not even back against the wall, almost just like, oh yeah, when will I learn? You know, have fun. And then from that moment on, I'm actually improvising. Everything relaxes and it's so much better because I'm not trying to pre-plan. I'm not getting in my own way. You know, I'm allowing it to flow.
Yeah. Being present was synonymous with having fun.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's why I like freestyling and improvising.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is that originally Curtis Thompson was a rap group, right? And that was the name of their group? 100%?
Oh,
does that translate?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm with you now.
Good.
Shout out to Curtis. Yeah, it is.
You know what? Was that racist?
I don't think so. Probably by some calculation. I don't know of the calculation. Should probably just play it safe.
You know, if there's one thing that I mean, my audience knows about me.
Yeah.
Daddy don't play it safe.
Hey, let's go.
2.50 cents is $1. Makes 100% sense.
It makes 100% sense.
Earlier, I decided that I didn't want to acknowledge this on camera, even though I told you.
Yeah.
But I did take an edible that would kick in at a certain point in the podcast.
Yes.
Swipe. And it is kicking in a little.
I love it.
So,
we're feeling a little stony.
I'm feeling a little stoned.
I like it.
Am I talking too much?
No. I mean, dude, I love to talk about this type of shit, so I'm here for it, man.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to learn from your data recognition ability, not so much on it affecting you.
Yeah.
So give me some, I mean, it's, of course, when people go, oh, you're in.
Yeah, you're in. Conjuring O's. That's what we're trying to do.
What kind of data do you get from eye contact? What type of data do you get to where people come in versus when people leave? Like if you're out in real life doing stuff.
Yeah.
What type of data do you get from things that you could explain to somebody who's only listening to you? Body language.
Yeah.
And how much, when you recognize it, is it subconscious versus are you looking for these things?
I think it's more subconscious than me specifically looking. It's a feeling thing, but it's represented by everything you mentioned: body language, the face lighting up. You know, it's gradual. First, maybe there's a little smile at the corner of somebody's mouth. Now we're on track. If I can hit them again with
so you
another
notice
good
a little
line.
smile. You notice not yet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, but we're heating up.
So do you focus on that person now? Like you got them on the hook?
Yes. I focus wherever the energy is the strongest. So if I'm rapping in public in a group of 8 people and 6 of them are somewhat checked out, but there's 2 people in the middle that are loving it.
Right.
You know, I focus my energy there. And what I find is then we can create this little epicenter of energy that's contagious and it spills over to the other people on the sides. And you see that happening. It's really a beautiful thing. One thing that's funny about the data is, you know, I worked for a really long time to figure out how to scheme from one word. So what I mean is like, give me a random word.
Tetherball.
Okay, so if you start with tetherball, I'm going to do a couplet about tetherball, but then I go...
Do a what about tetherball?
A rhyming couplet, so just two lines that rhyme, you know. So coming off the top, they know that I'm clever, y'all. I'm making heads spin around like a tetherball. When these rappers hear me, they going to be stressed because they just playing games like
each other's sentences. I thought I knew what you were going to say. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. So scheming, right? That was good. Scheming is just taking the one word and expanding it out into a whole verse where you're free associating other related material.
So when you're thinking tetherball, you have a word, but you're also thinking of what's in. Give me a word.
Yoda.
So when I hear Yoda, I'm thinking, I have a line. I'm going to talk about when I went on CBS Live and I could talk about Kate and Hoda. Okay, so now I have Hoda. And now am I thinking about things like morning television, or am I thinking of other Hoda? Am I going to go into Hodor? Am I going to talk about Game of Thrones? Like, are you scheming with words, or are you scheming with you're visualizing a place?
Good question. I think you're talking about the difference between free associating rhyming words, like going from Yoda to Hoda, that took you to morning television.
Right.
And then you could continue down that to quota, meet the quota. Now you're talking about international trade.
Right. So there's words, and then there's
concept.
Imagery.
Yeah, imagery.
What are you talking about when scheming?
I'm talking about imagery. From tetherball to recess to playing games to schoolyard to elementary. And each of those might have its own couplet.
So when you hear tetherball, think of a word, right? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Recess.
No, it wasn't. It was something that you rhymed with tetherball.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so when I hear tetherball, then I think of clever, y'all.
All right, so in order.
Yes.
Tetherball, first thing is clever, y'all, before recess?
Yeah, there's an order of operations.
Right.
I love that you're asking about this. Okay, because there's this order of operations, and it's totally subconscious, really. I mean, to be honest, at this point, just because I've practiced it so many times.
By the way, I'm just going to input where I'm connecting. That's what I was talking about, having those instincts.
Yeah.
Where you get to I don't have to think about swallowing or salivating. You know, like my body will do it for me.
Right. You don't have to think about walking.
Yeah.
You know, you could be on a very important phone call while you're walking down the sidewalk, and you're not like, excuse me, hold on, I have to take a step with my left foot, you know? And so that's what these skills of freestyling have become for me. And I'm always trying to push every skill to the background so that it's just there to serve me without me thinking about it.
But it is still happening.
It is still happening.
So if we're going to look into the biology of the psychology of
100%.
Tetherball, clever, y'all.
That's the first step. So first I need a setup rhyme for tetherball. And once I have that, commit to the first one you think of. You know, for me, that's what works because I don't have time to consider options.
But you say setup line. First thing isn't the line. First thing is the end of the line.
Right. The end of the line.
Or the end of the first part of the line.
Yeah.
So
target word.
Clever, y'all. Got it. Now what goes next? Immediately after clever, y'all.
Immediately after clever, y'all, I'm leading into saying clever, y'all with just...
so just figuring out anything. I know I'll find it because I'm clever, y'all.
Exactly. Doesn't have to be that impressive.
It could be a back and forth. It doesn't matter. We ain't hitting balls like it's tetherball.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. And so the first line of the couplet, or clever, y'all, is much less important than the second line that ends with tetherball, because that's with the tension and release, everyone's mind is much more focused on the part where it rhymes.
Could we, for unless it doesn't work exactly right,
sure,
but for sake of us connecting and talking, could we call the first line of a couplet or your setup word literally a setup?
Yep.
And could we call tetherball a punchline?
Absolutely.
So you're saying tension is caused after the setup.
Yep.
Will he get to the punchline?
Yes.
Okay. You know you will, because you had the punchline before you had the setup.
Exactly.
So you have the punchline.
Yes.
Also, they're going to know, especially if it's clever, y'all, tetherball.
Right.
So first thing is clever, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about how to get what I say before clever, y'all.
It's not that important.
Right. So that means that's nothing you're thinking of.
No.
So what are you thinking of after clever, y'all? Immediately after.
So as I'm building up to saying clever, y'all.
So you don't think of anything yet. For step one is clever, y'all.
Yeah.
Step two isn't thought. Step two is complete present.
Yeah. The mouth is moving. And then at some point, as I'm getting close to saying clever, y'all, this is bullet point. This is very technical. I don't know if this is interesting to your audience. I hope it is.
It's great.
Okay, beautiful. As I'm getting to tetherball and my mouth is just moving and filling in the gaps, I'm thinking of what would be a clever thing to say about tetherball. Or at least not even a clever thing, just something that would give it some kind of relevance and coherence and make sense.
Okay. Here's how we're going to continue defining this.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, this is the rest of the podcast. So if you're not into it, go check out, I've just recently been watching the Mission Impossibles. they're all. I'm started back up to the beginning.
Yes, classics.
So we're gonna trying to figure out the psychology of this. We're gonna have pause and play, right? Kind of a thought and action, right? So the order will go between thought and action, not necessarily 1-1-1. But here's how I want you to explain this to me. Thought is you hear tetherball, you go to clever y'all. Thought.
Yes.
The next step could be thought. What is tetherball? But that's not what happened.
No.
Step 1 was thought. Step 2, press play, is action. Action is now, we have enough, let's keep walking.
Yes.
And then after you get out clever y'all,
Yes.
or as you're talking, because you know you're already there while you're getting to clever y'all,
yes,
it goes back to thought.
Yes.
Step 3 is, what could I say about tetherball?
Yes.
Right. Then we get back to action. Is land step 3.
Yes.
So we go thought, action, thought, action.
Yes.
One thing at a time.
Yes.
So now you get to tetherball.
Yeah.
And you say it.
Yeah.
Is it now back to thought of recess, school, or did that happen previously?
It happened previously. On the way to tetherball, there's this moment where it's essentially committed. The punchline.
Right.
I came up with the idea. The first one I thought of just gets locked in. And I know that my mouth is going to just sort of find the syntax because I practice so much and I'm
Tell me,
used to that.
define syntax. I've looked it up so many times.
Yeah, good point. I probably shouldn't be using it. Do I even know what it means?
What do you mean by it then?
But I mean that the details of exactly the wording don't matter,
right? Because
my mouth will find it.
Right.
Just like us talking now. It's not like I know exactly what each and every word I'm saying is going to be in order. That would be way too much to think about. I'm just talking.
But that's step 3, right?
Yeah.
So thought
of the rhyme.
Right. Action, getting to clever y'all.
Clever y'all.
And
thought, what's tetherball?
That's 3.
Action, saying the line. And then on my way to tetherball, I've ideally already freely associated to the next word recess.
Okay.
So that I can start the process again.
So now, are you now going for a rhyme with recess, or are you going for either all rhyme in context of recess?
Oh, like a connecting rhyme. Only if I
clever y'all. Man, I was like tetherball. Now I'm having fun on recess. I keys this. Like, are you trying to rhyme to recess, or I'm picturing recess? So tetherball in a recess setting.
Oh,
like
no, for me,
roll call or something.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. For me, the default when I'm doing this, it's all just battle rhymes is what they're called, which is just me talking about me being dope. Right. I'm dope on the mic. So everything's getting tied into that. So every time I spit, the people know I'm clever, y'all. Making head spin, something like a tetherball. Right. All these other rappers out there, they should be stressed because they just playing games like they
each other's sentences.
Exactly.
I'm going to get on board with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you say H Mac or Harry Mac a lot.
Yes.
Is that something that is basically saying shouting yourself out to give that character? I don't mean character in a bad way. I mean quite literally character of confidence. Or is it just kind of something that it just helps me, like the same reason people go, it kind of gets you in a pocket?
It's the latter. It's a filler phrase. It's completely, it's muscle memory, connective material, and it allows me to think of the next thing or take the next action. So if you notice, it always goes at the beginning of the setup line.
Before the setup line, you mean?
Yeah.
Because you're stalling.
It's the first thing I say because I'm stalling to lock those pieces in that we just went over.
What happens to your flow, mental flow, when you have to go to Harry Mac or H Mac? Is it fine because that's what you're supposed to do, or is your back against the wall? Is that like a stutter where people don't know you're stuttering?
I feel as though filler phrases are perfectly okay and that they're actually part of the craft of freestyling. And in many ways, they're essential because to freestyle without a filler phrase for an extended period of time is a full-blown sprint. It's a full-blown mental sprint,
right? With
no opportunity to take a mental breath. And it can become overwhelming. And so in the beginning, I said my name at the beginning of almost every couplet. I said my name at the beginning of every couplet. Everything started with Harry Mac.
That would be so funny if you started doing that not in rapping situations, just like if you're nervous to meet your girlfriend's parents for this time, you go like, H Mac, can I use your bathroom?
Harry Mac, can you pass the turkey? Yeah, amazing.
Which is what I would say to you if I was at Thanksgiving with you, but that's just because I was...
It's quite confusing, actually. Yeah, who am I talking to? Am I asking myself to pass the turkey?
Harry Mac. Is it hot in here? Maya Angelou once said, Harry Mac, it isn't what you say that people remember. It's how you make them feel.
Oh, I love it.
She was a whore.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Puts a whole different spin on the whole thing.
Do a rap about Maya Angelou being a prostitute.
Yo.
I won't pull up something. Hold on one sec. Ooh, this one's called Tell 'Em.
Yeah. 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 You know her. You know her. Yeah. You know her. But do you? Do you? Do you? Do you know her well? I just hope you understand the truth. Of course I'm talking about Maya Angelou. Yeah. And you know the story well. But there's a dark secret that I'm about to tell. Yeah. How do you think she got lots of loot? Yeah. What do you think the truth is costing you? Share reality, what I got to do.
She actually got paid by getting fucked in the coop. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go.
She was a prostitute. Yeah, yeah. She was a prostitute. Yeah, yeah. She was a prostitute. We know that it's sketchy, know that it's dangerous. We know that it's bad for your health. I am as shocked as you are. I just found about it myself.
Damn.
I was just told right now, live on the fucking cast. Damn. How long will this painful feeling last? I was lied to. History books I'm done with. I thought it was bad enough just learning about Chris Columbus. And now I gotta come to grips with the true facts.
What's that?
Prostitute, damn. How could she do that?
Damn. Very NF the way you said, how could she do that?
Yes, thank you.
Do you know NF?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, shout out to NF.
That last word, that last way you did that, how do you, it made me think of him. Dude, that's awesome. That's so fun. What a fun fucking, on the lowest level, party trick. And for what it is, career and skill and what's the word? With an E, expertise you have.
Yes, thank you. It's amazing. It's, you know what? But I mean, for me, it's the most fun I could possibly have. Is freestyling and improvising. Like, I really feel like the kid finger painting. It's the most joyful thing.
You keep bringing up finger painting as if that's the joy. Did you like finger painting as a kid?
I am obsessed with finger painting.
It's like, yeah, it's like somebody who collects hamsters. It's like collecting hamsters for it. And just to assume that everyone relates to that being, what's more fun than finger painting?
Yeah, you know, finger painting. Have you tried it? I mean, have you done it recently? It's fucking amazing.
I honestly,
no brush.
Often, and I hate it.
Okay, yeah.
Every time I eat chicken wings.
Yes.
No, I don't eat wings.
Yes, custom merch.
Ooh, that I don't eat wings, but that is someone had to have done that. Like, that's a good shirt for Hot Ones or something.
It should
just
be,
like fingerprints.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Of all the celebrity guests, doxing their actual fingerprints.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess I liked finger painting as a kid, or I guess for me it's more so just a symbol of complete freedom. You know, no brush. You dip your hand in the paint. You smack your hand across the canvas. Nobody's judging it. Non-judgmental. You know, freeform art.
What do you mean? What's so great about being able to not think and just put your hands in the paint? Like, what is that even? Letting the ad run.
Yes.
What is that? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, Harry Mack. What is it exactly? Harry Mack. Is it that makes you feel like finger painting is such a special thing?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Now to some of y'all, it might seem quaint, but I'ma tell you about my passion for finger paint. Yeah, open up the canvas, I'm about to bust. In this moment, I'ma trust. I don't even need a brush. Whatever I paint for centuries, it'll linger. We getting messy, got the paint all on my fingers. Yeah, I'm about to face up to this challenge. Got the colors with the balance. I be dipping in the palette. Yeah, think you on my level, but homie, it's not so. With the finger paint, I'm Pablo. That's Picasso. Then again, when finger painting, I be wrecking bars. If it wasn't Picasso, it's Pablo to the Escobar, the gangster of the finger paints. Y'all know this kid is sparking. As the greatest I'm regarded since kindergarten. Yeah, I'ma bring y'all back. Reminisce for the rerun. The fun is now begun. Y'all know we starting. Kindergarten dipping in, I feel the slime. Now I'm about to fill the canvas, we gon' have the realest time. I'ma let my thoughts combine, this moment is pivotal. I close my eyes and let my fingers manifest the visual. Complicated schematics, colors combine, I'm at it. I swear for finger painting, I'm a motherfucking addict. You got questions about it, Harry Mack, he got the answers. If it wasn't finger painting, then I'd be collecting hamsters. When I'm rhyming, they know that I am for real. Most rappers running places though they on a hamster wheel. Finger painting is the greatest, all of y'all, you need to try it. In school I was quiet, but in my inner soul was a riot. Let's go.
Did you see me picking up the phone to know that was where I was going to end it?
Yeah, I saw my my walk-off music starting to play metaphorically.
I really, because I didn't want to pick, I wanted you to keep going, but also, you know, we'll do this.
Yeah.
But when I picked, I did think to myself, I wonder what you're going to think as I pick it up. I know you're so empathetic to the room.
Oh, yeah, no.
So even the way you did the last, let's go, like you were done.
Yeah.
So you had a feeling I was going to stop it.
Yes. Right. And that's one of the things that I've learned too is the dismount is so critical.
Yeah.
That's where that let's go comes from. It's like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you can cleanly end.
I was anticipating what is the, and if you did anything and then what it was going to be.
Yes.
Great. Oh, it's such a magic trick, dude.
It really is.
Yeah.
A lot of people have seen my man on the street videos. We call it gorilla bars where I'm out in public. And I didn't realize this, but they made the comparison to David Blaine. You know, it's like the David Blaine of freestyle, like his whole street magic thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Blaine. I love that show.
Instagram handle up here.
Yeah. For those who are unfamiliar, but I which is no one, but I loved watching that show when I was a kid, and maybe that has something to do with maybe that
No, has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So nothing to do with it. When you found palette, I felt like you didn't have palette and then you found it. Do you remember how long you had it?
Palette. I had palette.
Yeah.
Face into the challenge. I didn't have colors with the balance that came mid-line.
Right. So you were going to palette, color with the balance you just had because balance and palette work.
It happened to fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy accidents. You find things along the way. And with that whole order of operations we were breaking down, once the pieces are kind of locked, if you are ahead of schedule, then you can sometimes throw other things in there.
Kind of like when you after a poop you wipe and there's no poop on the first wipe. You're like, I'm ahead of schedule.
I'm good.
Yeah,
yes.
I have so much time for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you could just mosey on out of that bathroom feeling great about yourself.
So you didn't have the one before the punchline because I see your eyes looking a certain way.
Yeah.
I see your eyes looking, and that wasn't searching for something. That was having something and pulling it down. Does that make sense? You were going, it didn't matter. Colors with the, what was it?
Colors with the balance.
Yeah, colors with the balance. I saw you pull it down.
Yes.
So trying to understand, because I'm looking to improve my data collection.
Sure.
I've said on this podcast before, I don't believe that this is kind of not, this is hyperbolic, but
sure.
that nobody comes up with any jokes with anything. Everything exists. And I don't mean everything exists because it's been done before. I mean, since the beginning of time, what can be will be, it exists in infinity.
Okay.
So I think of this with jokes or with just usually when play is, oh, I found something. I don't know, what did I have it and I just saw it? Was it gifted to me? It just, you find it.
Right.
There's a skill in finding it, right?
Yes.
Finding it, you bring it down. I have developed such an ability to find things that I've used this metaphor before where I feel like what I'm trying to do better is if I'm building a house is my act.
Yeah.
I am so ungrateful, not ungrateful, but I so don't put enough value in the bricks that I find.
Yeah.
That instead of taking them and putting them down and building something out of it, I take it because I know I have infinite bricks.
Yeah.
I now have a new appreciation for these bricks because I realize use them. I remember Bill Lawrence, a friend of mine, my old boss, he once said to me, I did this joke. He really liked it. He didn't see me do it again. He goes, how come you don't do that anymore?
Right.
And I said, because it worked.
Right.
And I don't mean that in a pretentious way. It worked already. Why keep doing it?
Yeah.
I have now started valuing the bricks more and being more okay reusing the bricks. I'm supposed to reuse the bricks.
Yes.
I always felt like a liar reusing the bricks.
Yeah.
I feel like a liar in social interactions when I ask things that, how was your day? Just these bricks they're bricks.
Yes. Yes.
So you find a brick.
Yeah.
How do you value those? Does that make sense? Does that question make sense?
I relate to this so incredibly much that it's kind of uncanny how much I relate to what you're saying.
Other sentences. See, I'm okay reusing that brick because it still comes to me in that moment.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Sorry.
Okay. So yes, for a long time. Okay. So there's so many things that I thought of that I want to say. For years, I freestyled without filming it. You know, I started freestyling when I was 11 or 12 years old. I'm 32 now, so I've been freestyling for 20 years. And I only really started filming it and doing the whole YouTube content thing at the very end of 2016. So for all the time up until then, it was usually me freestyling at a house party or, freestyling with the homies or whatever.
Was it ever a cappella?
Sometimes it was a cappella. Yeah.
When it was, did people give beats?
Sometimes somebody would beatbox.
Are you a good beatboxer?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
But I am a drummer, so you know I have the rhythm part, but not the sounds. And so when I wasn't filming the freestyles, I wasn't so conscious of repeating the bricks.
Right.
You know, it didn't matter because each moment was new. It was a new performance, and the brick made sense in that moment. Therefore, grab it and use it.
Is there something to that because it's not burned material because you'll always have a new audience?
Yes.
So it's less about you judging the thing and more about your projections of what they would think of the thing.
Exactly.
Right. That's a dangerous place to live.
It really is. It's not productive. And so once we started doing the videos, I was like, oh, I shouldn't say this so much anymore because I use this line. Or, you know, every time I'm trying.
But there's truth to that too.
Yeah. To a degree, like it can become repetitive. You don't want to, you know, have every line that you use be memeified. For lack of a better word.
Wouldn't it then just become a filler?
It would, yeah. And in many ways it does.
And you're okay with those though?
Yeah, I'm okay with repeat material. So to a degree. And I'm always reaching for new material.
Right.
But like every time I see water bottle, it's like a meme within my community as I set it up with full throttle. You know, full throttle goes to water bottle. It's a known thing. We have merch. It's water bottles that say full throttle. So, you know, now I continue doing it sort of as a joke, but there's tons of other lines like that exist in my sort of vocabulary where they apply in the moment and they're there for me to grab, and I might grab it and I might use it, even though it's been done many times before. But my approach to improv is not that I'm making up an entirely new thing every time completely from scratch.
Rearranging.
Yeah. I feel like the same way that we're sitting down to have this conversation, it's like, just like you mentioned, we don't start every conversation with some completely new novel way of saying, hey man, how's it going? Right? Like that just works. So you grab it and you say it. Like if I were to approach you and say, my friend and fellow human, how art thou in this moment of time now? Just because it's different, and it's really not. That was just a bunch of stupid bricks that I grabbed and mashed together. That wouldn't be beneficial to the conversation. So I'm not trying to reinvent language every time that I do it. I'm just trying to, I don't have a plan is the only thing that defines it as improv to me, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I could say full throttle water bottle in this moment because it occurred to me again in this moment. Mm-hmm. And the rhythm of it is going to be slightly new. The inflection behind it is going to be slightly new. The line in front of it and the line after it are going to be entirely new. So the context is different. So to me, it's okay to grab those bricks and reuse them to a point. And if it gets to a point where it starts bothering me, okay, every time I see the water bottle, I say full throttle. Let me try to get rid of that one and introduce something new. Yeah. Does that make sense?
To put water bottle away for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. It also sounds nice.
Yeah.
Put the water bottle away for a while.
Wow.
Do you think about the cadence ever without the words?
Yes.
Like, yeah?
Yeah, because I'm a drummer, so all the time.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking sucker for cadence, dude.
Me too.
One of my best friends, my friend Cadence, I'm saying. You would love her.
Oh, okay. Haven't met Cadence, actually. Yeah. Okay.
She is hilarious.
I can't wait to meet her.
I found a lot of things difficult socially growing up.
Sure.
Interactions that I didn't know was supposed to go a certain way.
Sure.
When I learned that they're supposed to, I felt like a liar by doing them. I felt so disingenuous that I would find a way to do it where I was making a joke of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you're like, "How art thou today?" I was thinking, "Oh, somebody does that. I know what they're doing. They don't want to ask. They feel like they're supposed to ask. That's the way they learn to survive."
100%.
Right.
I relate.
So, the thing that I always understood, why are we doing this? What does this mean?
Yeah.
Was almost entirely cadence, not energy, not facial expressions. It was,
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
This, I get this.
Right.
I get when people are making faces and doing things with energies. And when people talk, their cadence doesn't match up with what they're saying.
Right.
I trust their cadence more than their words.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Dude, I completely relate to what you're saying. It's like, I call them tonalities. It's like sometimes I'll just improvise within a tonality or cadence of how something is typically said.
I forgot. I want to acknowledge I forgot. Maybe we'll cut back to it but you did one of them here. Maybe it was stomach ache. Are you talking about when you're acting?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, or like a classic YouTube tutorial video, you know? You're just like, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Before we dive into it, if you're enjoying the content, please make sure you like, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment about your favorite moment. And now let's get into it. Cut, shitty iPhone footage. All right, guys, so this is the WC485 vacuum. Just bought this. We're going to take a look at it. So like I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
There's two things there. There's cadence and there's structure.
Yeah.
There's the structure of where the jump cuts are, what the looks like. And then there's there's two different things.
Yes.
Which one's more valuable to you?
The second one. The tonality of sort of the speech, the da 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 da.
That's the first one. That's the cadence. Whatever.
Oh,
so
that's
the
cadence.
The cadence more than the structure.
Yes.
Okay.
More than the
Talk
structure.
to me more about cadence in any way that you see fit.
Yeah. So for me, well, it's really valuable when I'm freestyling to be able to enter these different cadences, as you call them. Like one time I was doing a live stream and someone said, freestyle like a meditation tutorial. And I've heard some of these. Mm-hmm. So without knowing what exactly would be said, it's almost like, oh, well, I basically know the tonality. Yeah,
I'd like to see the tonality.
Yeah.
So this is
going to be over a hard trap beat, though?
Meditation. Are you okay
this is
with
good.
That?
No, this is perfect.
No, that's not it. That's a commercial. I'm giving you a trap beat. You want some meditation?
Sorry, can't hear you over
this isn't that.
Well, give me whatever you got. The juxtaposition.
I'm taking them off YouTube. By the way,
Yeah.
audio only. Might not see the credit, but we'll be putting a thumbnail of everything in the YouTube. So if you want to see who this is and the channel.
Beautiful. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's on me.
Meditation. Breathe in.
Don't if I cut myself, bleeding.
Welcome. I'm so proud of you for making this decision to make some time for yourself.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
Go ahead and take a seat right now in your space. Feel your body. Start with your face. Feel your nose, the suppleness of your lips. Feel your eyelids like this. Now get ready. Don't bail. This first step is important. We're going to inhale. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Through your nostrils or your teeth. Feel your facial structure. Let it be. Now feel your shoulders down to your knees. Fast forward it a bit there. Let's get to the feet. Feel them on the ground. Start to hear the sounds. You just received a text. Pay it no mind. Let it go. A deeper truth we'll find. Let the thoughts come and go as they please. Don't try to be over controlling. Do this with ease.
Harry Mack.
I didn't get a text. I got a tax. For real, a notification from my accountant. I need to relax. The thing is, I got 2 more days so I could get my write-offs. Or I got 1 more phrase so I could get my nuts off. Listen,
shit.
I don't just come on the mic. I come on the ass and the titties and clit.
Yeah.
I don't ignore their tussies. I don't ignore shit. But you gotta ask questions.
Yeah.
Like what gets them off?
Right.
Do I finger the clit?
Sure.
Or do I eat off the ball?
Right.
The bump is what I call the booty hole. Eat it like a biscuit on an overall.
Yeah.
No, I lost it. But no, we had fun.
We had a fucking blast, man. You gotta eat off the, what'd you say, bombs?
No, but for real, I got a notification I have to do my taxes.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I just want people to know that, like, that was, wasn't a brick.
No.
Man, that was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, what you did is funny. Like, it's not even, it's just funny. It's just, you see people do stuff that's good, and it's like, fucking, man, that got me fucking amped, dude.
Hell yes, dude. I'm amped right now. And it's fun to go back and forth with you, man. I love it.
When you went from the nostrils of the teeth,
yes.
that's where then something released into my body. And I'm like, okay.
We're in this
nostrils
meditation
of the
now.
teeth.
Yeah.
So fun, dude. I want to do another one with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what are we talking about? Also, let me fill my coffee up real quick.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna drink some water.
Dude. You're so good at this, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
This is so fun, bro. I'm loving it.
I hope so, because I'm just asking you questions and then telling you things, it feels like.
Dude, it's great. I feel great, man. I hope I wasn't going in too detailed on the freestyle stuff, you know?
No, I just know I talk too much. I want to hear all of it.
Beautiful. Dude, I love it.
You don't want any more coffee?
I'm good, man. Thank you.
Man, I don't do weed and coffee much, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Yes. Yes.
Let me I over-communicate. I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking right now. I'm feeling myself. I feel like a kid.
Yes.
I felt like this with Sal Vulcano. Cut to a clip when we talked about it. That as a kid, I didn't have the most friends. Okay. This is what I always wanted.
Yo, I love this.
It takes having a podcast where people are like, I guess I'll go play at his house.
I know.
This is all I ever want to do.
This is, I mean, that's from the heart. I said it because I really felt, I feel like I'm like, this is like when I'm like, Mom, can I just stay? Can I go to, and it's just like, whatever, just fucking pure imagination.
Where it's like, oh, I just made a new friend.
Yes.
No obligations to anything, but I'm just saying, this is fucking the best.
Dude, this is fucking incredible. I feel the same way, man. I love talking about this shit.
Do you know Lamorne Morris?
No.
Black dude from New Girl?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can't start with the black dude from New Girl. I feel like that's order of operations. His name, number 2, black girl from New Girl. One of my best friends, he's so funny. He comes on all the time.
Oh, beautiful.
Let the church say amen.
Or a woman.
A woman. A they. A-OK. AOC.
Oh, no tax.
Yeah,
tax.
You know me.
What?
Yeah. Tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
Well, you rich, I'ma tax you, bitch. I can drive in the trunk with a, whoa, fixing the glasses, molasses. I like the girl, the top, the bottom. I like the asses. The trash is being taken out on Thursday. I'm like,
the bitches be shopping, bros be hopping. Basketball, Thursdays, football, Fridays. Women, they go to the mall, they shopping, but no more. Now they scientists, they rockin'. We need to teach our daughters how to be men, or like how to do like science and stuff. We need to teach our men to treat women better, because at the end of the day, we're exactly the same.
Yeah, we gotta protect each other. Make love to your brother, not your actual brother. That's incest, don't do it to another. Unless you think he's cute too, and that's between him and you. Oh, it's not my business what you do in your home, or your apartment, or your condo.
We love to freestyle together.
Yeah.
I have to have you on with us, either for a full episode, or if you don't have the time, come over at the beginning, middle, and end for a little.
Oh, I would love to. Anytime, man.
I want to just do this with you because he's so funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me
go to the bathroom.
Please.
Give me a sec.
Please.
I'm having fun, dude.
Me too. Fuck yeah.
Man. Rick Glassman.
Flow.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. I've often thought about the fact that as freeing as rock and roll is, and as much as it's supposed to be just letting out your inner, whatever your inner is,
right?
To not give me the choice to choose between the two, rock or roll,
right?
The way ginger ale does. And the problem I have with that is now I'm doing what you told me to do, and I'm starting off with the demand. Speak on that.
Right. It's well, I think that in many ways.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. That was so rude of me.
Please. Yes.
How rude of me.
No. I only speak over commercials. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
That's so annoying. I apologize. Let's start over.
Oh, dude, I love it. Okay, there we go. The phone was tripping, interrupting the flow. Yeah, my thoughts about to flow. I'm feeling stressed. Should I rock? Should I roll? Damn, don't know how to play this part. I could rock, then I'll be hard. Or I could roll like a child on a hill. I'm trying to split the difference, but I don't have the skill. Rock or roll, which one is meant, kid? Should I go Cream? Should I go Jimi Hendrix? Tell me, I need to find a way to interpret. Someone help me crack the surface. I mean, I wanna hold the electric guitar in my hands, but rock and roll just starts to feel like a demand. Feeling like I wanna make up lyrics with strong rhymes. How could a genre name turn into the confines? Suddenly what's supposed to express my rage starts to feel like the definition of a cage. I'm trapped inside a cell with the music that should be expressing from my cellular. I do well with words. I'm trying to find an answer, trying to find my escape. Should I rock or should I roll? Tell me, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Being present's all that you could do. It's all that you could afford to be and who you do. It come in the room, you come into school, you take into class, you doing math, but you don't pass nothing unless you tap that ass. Now listen, when I was youngin', everybody tonguing, telling me I'm supposed to lickin' pussy like it was a German speaking. Never to leaking, never to speaking, cause I didn't have my first kiss until I was the weekend. Weekend freaking, but you know, basically.
Yeah. Sing that shit.
No, man. I lost my words. I lost my verbs and adjectives, but now's me nothing less I do. Person, place, or thing at hand. But if I wanna wear my many hats or many a fact, my hair is wet and I'm going in the outside. Cold as ice. Frosty on my nipples, dude. Freezing up like I am doing cryo too. But I ain't cryo too to nothing like you wanna do. Cause when you getting hurt, you looking love. I'm looking black and blue.
Black and blue, leprechaun, backflip on top of a paracycle, done with the actress. Hat hand raised to a trophy grab, gold shine. Who knew the glasses shade would start to blow minds? Flip back on the curl, big sweater, blended cotton. Who had the guitar strap? We have forgotten. Wilson on the ball, evolution to the light blade, slight grade, A+, ill leprechaun stays plush in a backdrop fountain of youth. Who would have thought that Superman could save your tooth? DC comic book fast flipper trophy for the soccer game. Rubik's Cube solver kicking lots of flames.
I get it, you just look around the room for something to talk about, but why don't you reach into your soul and find some never be a hesitation, look into the mirror. See yourself in nothing clearer.
I'm trying to be more clear. Why don't I look inside my soul? Cause when I look there it's just darkness and fear.
Damn.
Insecurity, no type of purity. I wish that I could step forward with the certainty. Thanks for calling me out, but that's just hurting me, burning me to the 3rd degree.
I understand.
Yeah.
I just see you looking around the room and it's like, I know we're looking for data, but at a certain point, we have to trust that we have enough information.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
There's actually, maybe this is a little like, it's going to seem a little aggressive if I bring this up to you right now.
Sure.
Because I just met you, but is this a safe space?
I feel like it is, yeah.
All right. Remind me, when you got here, you said, what did you do earlier today?
I went to the studio. I worked.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you say that. Shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, earlier you told me that you do what you love, it's fun, but
yeah,
that's in the future.
Right.
Because when you're looking behind you, you call it work.
Yeah.
Let the beat drop. Worky turkey, a chicken jerky. You're earlier, you speaking no foods, I call you a turkey. Chicken chiggle, I gobble on the wiglet when I put my arms, I'm flying a singlet. Here we go, wing again, flying like you never knew. Looking on the first base, stop man, you fucking blue. You talking when you do it, you talking when you're dirty. Never mind, my arms are tired, little wordy. Now I say with no hesitation, psych I rhyme a little nation. Speaking to the old, speaking to the truth, speaking to you whatever you do. You hold your soul when you own it, you bone it, you clone it, you roam it. You drink it to the Ling Tao Pizza, man, you own it. It ain't Italy unless it's Roman when you roaming it. But everything I do cause I be trying to own in it. I don't like how much it changes things.
Why is it changing? every other second rearranging.
Damn.
We out here trying to spit raw, but the beat is feeling something like a jumbled jigsaw. You know, I'm digging in my soul now. You know I'm about to build it on my own now. I be surrendering my control now. Really, I'm just trying to do what I'm told now. Okay, I'm trying to spit it in a great way. I'm trying to get vulnerable on the pod. I feel like it's a safe space. I mean, even though we have 3 cameras around and lots of people might watch this, and if I'm being honest, I should probably be cautious and not talk shit. And, you know, all the words that I'm using, I should probably watch this, but suddenly I'm feeling shivery and cold as though I'm frostbit. It's somewhat obnoxious. I'm wondering if there's a way that I could pay a deeper cost, kid, to...
You want me to get you some sweaters or raise the heat?
That could be better.
Right. Now, if you want merch, I'll give you something softer. Do you want to keep warm so you can have something to talk about?
I probably do need something softer now.
Like a blanket? Or a better now?
Perhaps for my clever style.
That's much better than what I said. Wow.
It's whatever, pal.
No, I think you're great now.
Oh, really? Well, I'm swelling up with hate now.
Well, don't twitch it so much, man. Be better than thou.
That was clever, child.
Okay. All right. That was good. That was an example where you talk about having something planned and it not working, where that's why I turned off. I got mad because I knew what I wanted to say. I meant to end it with thou, and I said it thou early. I'm like, well, I said thou early.
Well, no wrong notes, right?
Well, the point of that conversation, and I would love to even expand on it more.
Yeah.
But also not necessary. It was less about there not being a wrong note and more about the idea of how much it is a decision.
Yes.
Not the thing itself.
Right.
I don't know who I'm quoting here because I saw it on Instagram and I'm definitely paraphrasing it.
Sure.
I just forgot. I want to recall it. What were we just talking about?
No wrong notes. The intention.
I remember what it was. It was something about, no, but now I'm thinking of another thing. I forgot the actress's name, but where happiness is a decision.
Right.
And sure. You know, like the idea of like of looking in the mirror and being like, you're good, you're valuable. Like these, what are those called?
Validations or no, affirmations.
Affirmations.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But if you're not actually feeling in the moment, it's just might as well be asking how you doing. You're just saying the thing. You're not really feeling it, right?
Absolutely.
So there is like a tool to be able to tap into self-worth and happiness.
Yeah.
It's not, sometimes it's easier than others, but like along the way, there are little tricks that let you do it.
Yeah.
Right? Man, I'm being so wordy here, but thank you for your patience.
Oh, I love it.
The trick here that I'm trying to connect to a bigger purpose is making the decision that, oh, that was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I made the decision that it's not okay.
Yeah.
How do you, and then sometimes you make the decision is okay.
Yeah.
How do you make it okay more? Because you said when you stumble, that turns you on.
Yeah. There's times where it turns me off, though. If I'm being completely honest, there's times where, fuck, this one's burned.
What's the difference? Is it mindset or is it the situation?
I think it's my mindset going into it. Yeah. Well, I think it's how I feel when I start the day. If I'm having a beautiful, great day, everything's flowing and going, you know, sit down, make a little stutter, make a little stammer. It just fires me up. It's all good. We're just having fun. But if I'm feeling down on myself, shit, I don't know. What am I doing? You know, what's the point? And then I make a little stutter or stammer. It's like, oh God, see, there you go. There's just further proof of what I was already believing in this moment, you know?
Yeah, man. The idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, I think is really just a metaphor for the way you start your morning.
I could not agree more.
Goes forward. I don't even eat breakfast.
No, me neither. Intermittent fasting, baby.
I guess technically then the first meal, a lot of people think breakfast ends at a certain time because of McDonald's. But the truth is you're just breaking fast.
You're breaking the fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just do that at what's called lunch. Well, I don't know what you do, but that's what I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah. Thank you.
But the idea of making a decision now to be okay making a mistake in 5 hours is such, I mean, while we're talking about data, like if you're trying to hack your consciousness, you know, like I know that I could be like, all right, go take a walk, go take a shower, have a coffee, meditate, do whatever your thing is. But like, fuck it, I don't want to, is so not loving future you.
Exactly. Yeah, future you. You got to take care of future you. all the decisions you make, you got to think, hey man, is future me going to be happy that I made this decision or pissed off?
I mean, I have my opinions on that. I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about looking out for future you, what do you mean?
Okay, let me speak to this.
Yeah. And give some examples, would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But do from the perspective of wearing khakis. I'm sorry. Just
of course. Yeah. Okay.
And a tie that's too tight.
Yeah. Yeah. Very careful. Yeah. You know I don't slack, G. Which is kind of ironic because I am wearing khakis.
Right, true that.
And I got a tight ass tie on my neck right now.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Side.
To myself,
this
I've
bitch
made
up.
a vow. I'm gonna start my morning dressing well in a way that helps my life excel. On my past, I'm not gonna dwell. Why? I got a little story to tell. I ain't caring about my current self. I'm thinking about me in the future. So do I wanna lay on my couch and watch TV or do some work on my computer? I mean, laying on the couch and watching the show seems pretty dope and it matches my flow. Plus, I wanna get caught up on the series. I mean, you love TV, I'm sure you hear me. And this couch, it is comfortable. Plus, in the fridge, dog, I got Lunchables. I ain't even gotta go and try to cook something healthy. I could lay right here, but they tell me that if I do the work, it'll pay off. I could start to build something, turn into a straight boss. I mean, maybe even though it isn't easy, bro, over time, I start to build into a CEO. I could build a company, and to me, it seems like I'm better off trying to go support my dreams. Fuck it, man, now I feel like I'm gonna make some fire. I'm gonna go to my computer, man, I feel inspired. I'll sit behind the keyboard and I'll do the work. Even if right now in the moment it hurts, I'm not concerned with instant gratification. If I was, it'd be all about masturbation. Watching porn and just wasting time and just getting drunk every day, not trying to shine. But fuck that, I got a purpose in life. So even if I'm nervous, I'm about to go and strike. Whoa.
Yeah, that's powerful, man.
Thank you, man.
You know, you're talking about self-gratification and masturbation.
Yes.
Coming not from people's reactions, but you, in fact, not only notice them, require them.
Right.
So you told a lie for the rhyme.
I'm sorry, walk me through that. What was my lie? Because I feel like this is a heavy accusation, okay? So I feel like you're going to have to explain to me what exactly.
Well, I'm not going to back out of this. I'm I'm just joking about the intensity. By lie, let me make that a kinder term then, because I didn't mean, I don't know how much of that you were serious about the accusation.
None.
So
zero, not serious at all.
All right, great,
completely unoffended.
But just in case, I want to make sure I say.
Yeah, please.
But I see this, and I don't think it's a problem. I see this in sitcoms a lot, where in order to land a joke, the writers sacrifice the reality of this character. This person would never do or say that, but it's the right setup or punchline for the situation. Who gives a shit? Our job is to be funny.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't have to exist with the exact same physics as the real one.
Sure.
Or as this one.
Right.
So you talked about checking out the reactions, that you're not worried. You don't need that gratification, whatever it may have been.
Yes.
When earlier we were talking about you do want that.
Yes.
So my question is, that's a bit of a turn. You're taking something and flipping it a little. Is that because you want to tell that thing? Or is that because, ooh, this flow is leading towards these words and this thing, this is a coherent sentence.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. And when you're doing it, do you feel yourself, pardon me, fibbing or bending the truth, or does it not matter?
Yeah, I do. So first of all, it could be both. In some cases, it's just the rhyme is right there for me and it makes coherent sense, like you said.
Right.
And it's like, hey man, we're going this way now, because it just makes too much sense not to.
Sometimes people will talk about something and hype themselves up and they're being hyperbolic, or maybe even this thing never happened, but in this character.
Of course. And that's hip hop, you know, the braggadocio, the hyperbole, the whole boosting yourself up. Everything is larger than life. I mean, that's a big part of the language of rap, in my opinion, and you know, historically, that's been a big piece of it. And I think, you know, for me as well, we're talking about taking care of the future self, right? Which is, you know, this concept of like, okay, I'm going to delay instant gratification and do something maybe that's more challenging, because I know that my future self will be happier that I made that choice, as opposed to, you know, laying on the couch watching the TV and eating Lunchables. Now, for me, that is aspirational. You know, I try to do that as often as possible, but I'm not 100% consistent. So to deliver that concept of what we're getting at, it's more of like an aspirational kind of thing, if that makes sense. I'm painting the picture of what it should be.
Absolutely.
I think, even though I fall short of it quite often.
Should be meaning what you think perfection is.
Yeah. Like what I think would be a good aim, you know, an aim toward delaying instant gratification and not needing that, you know.
It stands out for me because I'm trying to just take from you some things that I could translate into comedy.
Yes. Sorry for making that so hard, by the way.
No, not at all. I'm just kind of explaining why I'm zooming in on something where I'm like, ooh, I have a question about this that relates to comedy.
Hell yeah.
To me.
Yes.
Part of the reason why I would throw bricks away was because, as I said, I would feel like a liar if I was putting all these bricks up and acting like I've never built this before.
Right.
But that's the craft, and you're supposed to do that. Sure. And it isn't about repeating material. It's about being able to deliver it as if it were your first time.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, there are some things that will happen. Some jokes, I've been practicing. I repeat stuff now, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Some of them like, oh, this breeds being able to repeat. Boy, are my arms tired is an easy thing to repeat because it is a response to something that makes me think of it.
Yeah.
Some things feel like, I can't do this anymore. I'm lying.
Yes.
Also, I have a very hard time lying.
Yeah.
On stage. You do sometimes, and you fib if the intention is efficient, right?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Oh, this is a setup they're going to know or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll say something on stage or respond in a way that was just what I would say is where the flow was, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And as soon as I say it, I'm thinking, that's not true.
Right.
And if I don't acknowledge it, I can't be present anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm almost jailed to not continue the momentum I've been doing because I have to go, hold on one sec. I just want to say, right?
Yeah.
You feel that when you rap ever?
Absolutely. All the time. I usually follow it up with, that's not actually true. I didn't mean that. You know, that's the next line, you know?
Right.
Because I have to get back to a baseline, you know, of like, okay, I'm still me. I think what I love about freestyling is that it forces me to be myself at all times. And I love that. And I don't have to try to think about who I'm trying to project or who I'm trying to present. It's like, this is me, dog. These are my raw thoughts coming out of my mind and out of my heart.
Absolutely.
That's all there is to it. And so if I say something that's clearly not accurate, an accurate reflection of myself currently, then, you know, like, for example, I used to smoke weed all the time now, and then I stopped liking the way that it was very fun, and I loved it for a long time, and then it started to terrify the shit out of me for some reason. And it just changed the way it affected me, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I stopped smoking weed. Still love like the cannabis movement and everything, and I'm a fan. I love the way it smells. I love the way it looks. I love everything about it.
Making sure you don't burn your weed smoking audience.
Yes, all the spots.
Like Jordan saying, all political parties buy shoes was what you just did. Not to say, listen, weed I think is fantastic, and I love it's just not for me.
Exactly.
Politician.
Yes, wasn't that transparent? Yeah. So you know, but then maybe there's some old bricks, as we're calling them, some old lines bouncing around in the skull there about me smoking weed, you know? And so if I accidentally just say one now, it's like immediately the next line I have to be like, actually not now. I got sobriety. Nowadays I'm focused. No weed entirely. I have to correct it.
Okay.
Every time.
So you said
pretty much every time
that, like what you just did. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every time. Like,
not every, I'm sure there's exceptions.
You can say whatever you want because you could always, you know, add an addendum or a postscript or whatever.
Yeah, I'll send you all of mine after this interview, by the way.
Just like whenever that VH1 show was with music videos. Bloop. Well, not all the time. You know, all the
exactly.
Armchair Expert does fact check at the end. I don't know if you ever listened.
Oh, really?
To
Yeah.
Dax and Monica show.
Yeah, that's right.
But like live action.
Yes.
So you said rapping makes you feel more than anything else like yourself, while also acknowledging rapping is something where you'll say things that aren't the way you sell yourself and aren't who you really are.
Right.
The observation I'm going to make from that is either that's a conundrum because you can't be yourself while being able to not be yourself, or the definition of being yourself isn't about the attributes that self is, but literally just being present, and self is whatever your energy and what you're matching is in that moment.
Yeah.
Could be aggressive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So being yourself isn't necessarily one with your identity.
Right.
Being yourself just means being present.
Right.
So here's the algebra I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are, having a sense of self is identity.
Yes.
Being present despite that sense of self is what's the word I'm using again? I'm stoned.
Is what? Being authentic? Being yourself?
Being yourself.
Yes,
Thank you.
Being yourself.
So being yourself could be identity or the antithesis of it.
Yes.
Because it's just being present, right?
Yeah.
So if like 1x equals 1 x or ax equals bx, x is self. Sorry, I'm a little stoned.
AX equals
right,
BX.
So here's what it
X
is.
Self.
Okay, so here's what it is. So
shit, we're doing algebra. Holy
identity equals self.
Yes.
being present equals self.
Yes.
However, being present and identity aren't necessarily connected. Sometimes they're even mutually exclusive.
Sure.
So self could be either identity and or being present. Remove self.
Yes.
And just speak about identity versus being present. Where do they overlap in the Venn diagram? Also, you don't have to answer right away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does make sense. I think it does make sense. Because, oh yes, here we go. Oh shit, here we go.
Man, this is fun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm back again. Do y'all remember me? Hold on, let me catch it. I think I was in the wrong part of the beat. No, we got it. Yeah. Yeah. Back again, do you remember me? Ay, tell me what's being present, ay, versus identity, ay, who was I born to be? Ay, am I gonna own it? Ay, some days I feel insecure, but I might be wildin' out winning the moment. Yeah, y'all know I got multi-dimensions, so many that I wanna show you. Yeah, I might do a line about smoking weed, even though nowadays I'm sober. I was in the moment and it just came to me, so who am I to lay shame to me? Nowadays I gotta make a choice. Am I in tune with my identity when speaking my voice? Some days, man, it's hard to tell. I ain't one to walk you through hell. Honestly, in my life I'm positive, but sometimes when I rap, I ain't really got a lot to give. No shits, no fucks, nothing. Sometimes I grab the mic and start busting. Tell the whole world I'm the greatest in the planet. Boost myself up, make my ego gigantic. Yeah, I don't get scared, I don't panic. When I'm done with the mic, I'm about to slam it. God damn it, I be swinging in the ring like Ali. I'm the most raw G, ain't nobody saw me. And then after that, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Nice. No, I did kick the rap. Yeah, it's all good. Hey, you want to get some lunch? So I guess I fluctuate between both a bunch. Yeah.
Oh, man. So much fucking fun, dude.
Yes.
But also, speak on it now without that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and what I was trying to articulate in the rhyme, I don't know to what degree it came across. You know, I think people are really multidimensional, you know. And
pardon the interruption. I'm going to do it, though, because I'm trying to cipher specific things. I'm talking about you, not people.
Yeah.
Pardon me for being so aggressive.
No, please.
But also you, where the idea of being, the value and the idea of being present.
Yeah.
And the idea of like knowing yourself and knowing your track record and believing in yourself, identity.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily being present. Just like sometimes you have to be like, when you're feeling scared, when I'm feeling scared,
yes,
looking in the mirror and words of affirmation don't work.
No, not for me either.
Fortunately, I have had some experiences that I've been consciously locking in.
Yeah.
When I feel pride, when I feel confidence, when I feel I'm great at what I do.
Hell yeah.
I will sit in that moment and like force myself to be present in it, to kind of like burn it into my mind.
I love that.
That I am great at what I do.
Yes.
So then there are times where I'm not having words of affirmation for me right now talking. I'm going back to me yesterday, me a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Being like, no. Remember, you're drunk now, Rick. Drunk with
right.
with insecurity.
Sure.
Yeah. You're fucking good, and that works for me.
Yeah.
So having that confidence and that identity is something you earn and you build badges on, right?
Yes.
But then the other one is just being present, is that thing where I said that thing I developed for my instincts, the superpower, which is I'm good, I'm bad. It's not a thing.
Right.
I'm right here.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be doing this thing.
Yes.
Whatever I say is what I'm supposed to say.
Yes.
Two completely different things.
Very much
and
so.
different forms of confidence.
Very much so.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, I
Great.
do.
Can we talk on both of those?
Yes, absolutely. And you know, so in terms of being in the moment and whatever I say goes, I feel very fortunate that hip hop does have this sort of language of braggadocio. You know, is that the word, braggadocio?
Yeah, I think this is my last interruption for now, but for an attempt to have people connect who aren't rappers or comedians,
yes,
or athletes, is this isn't about, I don't mean this. This is psychology. It's not about rapping. It's about any interaction that you have. This idea of bringing this out. We're speaking on the rapping,
right?
But also, I want people who are listening to bring this outside of just any interactions where they feel uncomfortable or insecure.
Yeah,
these are tools that I'm looking for that can be translated outside of it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
You're grateful of the braggadocio because You're forced confidence.
I'm able to hype myself up in the moment. And I think that over time, you know, like Harry Mackenzie, which that's my real name, is quite insecure, you know, in a lot of parts of my life. Like if I'm being completely honest, you know, I feel very insecure a lot of the time, you know. But Harry Mack, when he's rapping, doesn't feel that at all.
What are some of the insecurities? Will you talk on them?
Sure, yeah. You know, well, so like now I have a team, you know, I've built a team around what I do. And I think stepping into being a team leader, you know, for example, like that's scary to me. I always feel like I'm doing a bad job, you know, which isn't true. It's just a way that I feel.
We talk about some younger insecurities, stuff that has been with you since, that you still have, that you've had since before this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it's almost, for me, it's almost more of just like a general feeling, walking through the world, feeling like I'm walking in a weird way, or that was a dumb thing I said.
So is insecurity you being judged?
Yes.
Understood.
Yes. Yeah, me being judged, and to be honest, even with my performing and what I do now, there's this thing where immediately after I do it, I often have this reaction of like, oh, that was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, what a direct connection to your insecurity and your validation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what do people think of me?
Right.
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 So what do people think of me is Harry Macklemore. And then what is it, Mac? What's your name? Your
Harry Mackenzie. Harry Mackenzie.
And then so now Harry Mack
is the GOAT. Harry Mack, he said, I don't believe that I'm the GOAT, but when I'm rapping, I'm better than everybody. That's the whole language of it.
So it's kind of like Harry Mack is when you're talking about like we have a child inside of us, you know, like Harry Mack is the parent.
Yes.
And Harry Mackenzie is the insecure person.
Is the little baby.
And you parent yourself by rap.
Yes. I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. I boost myself up through rap.
So it's very important to you.
Incredibly important to me. Incredibly important to me. And the things I'm rapping about, it's almost like I'm wishing them into existence over time. I say it enough times that it starts to pull my energy in that direction.
What things do you rap about if they're all freestyled?
Well, like, you know, I've been rapping about how I'm the dopest off the top of the dome since way before, when my freestyles were horrible. You know, when I was 11, 12 years old and had no technique, and there was no way I was the greatest off the top of the dome.
I thought you were going to, off the dome, 12 years old, you didn't stop at old, and for a moment I was ready. I was ready to bob. 12 years old. That I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, we're leaking right into it. It does leak. It does bubble over sometimes. So yeah, you know, I think there's power to that. That I've been rapping about being great even way before I was great. You know, and I think it's pulled my energy in that direction over time, and potentially allowed me to enter a frame of mind where I could be great.
I believe this statement. Do you? I shouldn't have said that because I don't want to be biased. How much you believe this statement?
Hit me.
The words we say affect us. Just the words we literally say out loud affect us and our energies and who we end up becoming.
I agree 100%. Yeah. I think that there's evidence of it in my life, even just based on what I was just mentioning, you know, rapping about being great when you're not great yet. And then over time saying that again and again and again until eventually, you know, one day I woke up and I feel like I'm good at what I do.
Are you critical of yourself?
Yes.
And how do you speak to yourself negatively?
Oh man. Well, like we were saying, like I'll do I'll have a big opportunity, for example, you know, I'll rap next to somebody great who I'm a fan of, you know, much like today. And after the freestyle, I'm like, oh, that wasn't it. You know, when I'm driving home, oh man, I think I dropped the ball. I think it was whack. I don't think I really did it.
Well, you were nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not being that mean to yourself.
Okay. Well, good. You don't think so?
It's a line between self-awareness / critiquing versus planting seeds of doubt and not being valuable or worthy.
Yeah.
It's a fine line, but you need to be able, if it wasn't right, there's a difference between not thinking something you did was great versus letting that affect your worth.
Sure. Yeah.
But are they always parallel?
I think for me, it has been a challenge because being a musician is such a huge part of my identity, you know? I mean, and it is sometimes, it's trippy to imagine, like, wow, what if I couldn't do music? What if I lost my hearing? You know, what if I couldn't rap? And I think a healthy place to be would be to say like, well, that would be okay. You know, I would still be valuable as a human. I would still, you know, I would find the next thing. But if I'm being completely honest, when I consider that, it's like, damn, I don't fucking know what I would do.
Right.
And I would not feel like myself.
Right.
And because my identity is so closely intertwined with what I do professionally, and you know, sometimes people will say, oh, you know, you're very career oriented, but to me, it's not a career. It's like so much more than that. You know, me freestyling is like it's something that defines my life. You know,
it's your identity.
It's my identity, and it gives me purpose. You know, and it makes me feel like when I say I feel the most like myself when I'm freestyling. You know, it's the best way I know to relate myself to the rest of the universe.
I'd like to connect with you on that.
Yeah.
It's something I say on this podcast every now and then, which is I feel the same way about comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, I thankfully do it as a career.
Yeah.
I'm also an award-winning dramatic actor, but I'm just saying that comedy and joking around a lot of times, and there's some truth to this, and I've tried to become better, but people tell me all the time,
yeah,
I never know when you're joking when you're serious.
Sure.
And like, I get that. And I want to be more efficient in communication. And I have been over the past few years. I've gotten much better.
Yeah.
But there's still this idea that I feel so differently than others, which is I don't think jokes and sincerity are mutually exclusive.
Right.
It's a language. It's a religion.
Right.
So what would I be without comedy? What would I be without stand-up? I do think I would be okay.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good.
I think I would be okay. What would I do without being able to be silly and jokes?
Right.
I'm not going to, I will have no eye contact with anybody.
Right.
So,
right.
So comedy to me is not just a career, and that's where I'm connecting with, but the difference between that is there are instruments that are accessible.
Yeah.
You play the piano, chances are you'll play the piano at somebody's house. People have one.
Sure.
You play the clarinet, you're not going to find one. Bring your own.
Right.
I feel the piano of social interaction is comedy.
Yeah.
But if freestyling and spoken word is a great trick, and I say trick in the metaphor of going into somebody's house, a party or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not going to come, you can't just like, go meet somebody and just do that all the time.
No.
So that's where it's a little bit different.
Right.
And seems like, well, I have this outlet even with my family.
Yeah.
I have this outlet in all my relationships.
Right.
Do you have this outlet with your family and with your relationships?
I think I do in a more abstract way. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go to Thanksgiving and just freestyle everything I say, for the for the whole time I'm there.
Bummer.
I wish I could. I'd be a lot more comfortable if I could. That's for sure.
I understand. You're serious, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can find, you know what? It's so much, side note, and then I will answer your question. It's so much easier for me to figure out what it is that I'm trying to say when I'm rapping and freestyling. I'm not as good at actually talking. I get nervous for podcasts, honestly, just being here. I'm having a lot of fun here. This is fantastic, by the way. But, if I'm rapping, it comes to me a lot easier. And I actually have learned things about myself while freestyling. I feel like I'm like, yeah, that's right. I didn't necessarily know that.
Performing as well.
Yeah. So no, but I can't just freestyle in all my interactions in the way that you can maybe be comedic.
It's another sentence.
Right. Exactly. So for me, I think what it really is improv. Being able to improvise and feeling like I'm in the spirit of improv, that there's no plan and we're making shit up right now and we're bouncing off of each other and there's this energy that's present and we're both, or however many people are in the group, are building with this energy together.
Okay, improv, there's comedy improv, there's rapping improv. If you're not doing comedy improv and you're not doing rapping improv, what kind of improv? Like, because you're improvising conversation and not doing jokes, you're not rapping. What's the other kind of improv?
Just the improv of life. I mean, every moment is a freestyle. Every moment is improvised.
Improv of life shirts. Put them up.
Yeah, they're coming. Limited run, only 100, $500 each. We're going to split it 50-50.
I have a sweatshirt on my site. It's a Goblin Gang, black and gold, and it's $500.
Really?
But also when people sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/ShakyShoesOff, $50 tier, they get that sweatshirt for free. So it's
dope.
such a big deal.
Hell yeah.
Also, a little trick, it's actually cheaper than any other sweatshirt because you're getting free shipping and everything. But I have a $500 sweatshirt up there already.
You should. Fucking good for you, man.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. I love it. Yes, the freestyle of life, man. Every moment is improvised. I have no idea what you're going to say to me. I don't know how the couch is going to feel. I didn't know that I was going to put my feet up on top of this thing, but clearly I've chosen to do that.
But that's not satisfying the rapping. Like you said, without rap, you don't know what you would do.
Yeah.
Meaning, even though you have the rap, you said you're nervous for podcasting, but when you're rapping, you're comfortable. You're seeking it. You want it.
You're right.
So how do you let that... I connect with comedy. So it's no coincidence that all my family, well, maybe that's a coincidence. Everyone in my family is still hilarious. But all my friends are funny because that's what I need that. Otherwise, we literally don't speak the same language.
Sure.
You don't, it seems like you don't have that.
No. Because nobody else really freestyles in my family.
So you are your most self.
Yeah.
When you're not dealing with family and close people in your life.
I think it sounds crazy to say yes to that, but I think I am my most self when I'm by myself freestyling.
By yourself.
Or freestyling for an audience.
Right.
But
well,
I think there's something sacred about practice. Like, I love practice. So for me, that's being in a space where it's just me working things out, you know?
Yeah, you could be yourself in solitude. That's totally a thing. But if you're most self in solitude, then that's not really yourself. That's yourself when you're alone. Who you are isn't just what you want to be or where you're most comfortable. Who you are is also who you are in front of other people.
Right.
So when you say I'm not myself, you're not truly not yourself. You're not the same as when I'm alone.
Sure.
But that's not who you are. That's part of who you are.
Sure.
But you're not your favorite when you're with other people.
Yeah.
Pardon my candor, but that's dark.
I guess that is kind of dark. And you know what? I don't want it to come across that way because I do love interacting with other people.
Right.
And in fact, I think that's one of the things I love the most about freestyling.
It seems like you love that.
Yeah, I do love that. The energy exchange of it. You know, the power that it has to make somebody's day brighter. You know, that in and of itself is like something I'm incredibly passionate about. And the way that you see it put a smile on so many different people's faces, you know, I'm really passionate about that. And I love that. And it would be tragic if I didn't have the opportunity to do that, you know? So, I don't want it to sound like I'm some recluse and I don't like being around other people or anything like that. I do enjoy being around other people, and I enjoy freestyling for and engaging other people through freestyle. I think that's the thing I'm most passionate about, is spreading joy with my craft. But I'm an introvert, you know, at the end of the day, and I recharge sort of by myself, and I consider it sacred to have that practice space. And for me, the practice routine itself is very meditative, and it's really a practice and flow state of mindfulness, and it's where I get to have that, and that's sort of essential to my happiness.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I was actually thinking before you said it, but while you were talking, this just keeps making like some weird noise.
Oh yeah, the classic phone interference there.
PI. The idea of recharging, like, I love being alone. I need being alone, and I am alone a lot.
Yeah,
by design.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't feel more like myself. I feel that helps me get to that self that I like.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But when I'm still like scratching it, and I apologize for obsessing over this, is this idea that whether it's alone or with other people, this rapping thing that makes you the most, I guess we'll talk about out of the identity versus present, allows you at least to be the most present.
Yeah.
And the most joy, that seems like the most joy.
Yes.
Isn't something that translates outside of performance.
Right.
Which is why you said, if you lost that, what would I be? What would I do?
Right.
And I'm curious of what that means and where that comes from, because you didn't rap until you rapped.
Right. But I was performing.
So is it rapping or is it performing that gives you that joy?
I think it's both. I think that rapping is, I've come to find the ideal way for me to perform, at least at this moment in time, and probably for the rest of my life. It's the thing that combines all the different parts of my personality that I like to share when I perform. But
okay, right.
Because I'm a drummer too. So for years, and I've been my first instrument was the violin. I played that when I was from like 7 to 15.
Ooh,
I started playing the drums in 5th grade, and I studied jazz drumming in college. So, and I gigged as professionally as a jazz drummer for a long time.
No more, right?
Not currently, no.
My brother has a bar, shout out to ETA in Greyhound in Highland Park in Glendale.
Yeah.
That they do jazz nights all the time.
I love that place.
Oh, right on.
That's your brother's place?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Dude, $1 oysters.
Small world.
There you go. I'm never there. You can't find me there. Don't tell anybody that I'm ever there.
People are just going to start going, go. I'm going to have a little investment in the bar myself, so please. Harry Mack is there every Thursday.
Please go. It's amazing. It's really great. So, and even before that, I was always performing at the house. I was trying to say funny shit. You know, I was running through the house, doing voices, making up songs, you know, saying ridiculous things.
Yeah.
My parents were like, you know, you're going to be famous when I was a little kid.
What does that mean to you, fame? And what did it mean to you as a kid? Excuse me.
It felt good to hear. I didn't know what it really meant. I think it was somewhat abstract, but to me, it just meant like, we're funny. You're funny and we like what you're doing. This is great. This is entertaining.
What does it mean to you now? Is it something you seek?
No. Not really. I think it's useful in measuring some level of success, maybe. Like, it's like, okay, people know about me. If we go on tour, we sell tickets and people come out to the shows, and that's great, you know, and I guess that wouldn't happen if I didn't have some level of fame or if people didn't know about me outside of my immediate circle, right? So it's good. I don't think it's like a core motivating factor for me to gain more fame. I think for me, for whatever reason, I'm incredibly motivated by getting better, and I'm motivated by greatness. Like I'm not a sports guy. So here's an example. I'm not a sports guy at all. I don't know anything about sports. I've always been terrible at sports, and I think I just rejected it from a young age because I was so bad at it. But I'm incredibly inspired by people like Kobe Bryant, you know, because of listening to interviews with him where he's talking about how dedicated to improvement and greatness he is. And for me, and I think that's why I'm so into practice, you know, and that's why that's so sacred to me.
Are you an Allen Iverson fan?
Sure, yeah. Again, I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know, like, you know,
Well, we talking about practice, so I was just wondering.
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. Well, Coach, I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Classic clip. But yes, I mean, I think really at the end of the day, that's what motivates me. And the other thing that motivates me a lot is what we mentioned, which is, being able to spread joy to people. You know, I think it's really, an important thing, you know, the fact that when I do a freestyle, it can light somebody's face up and people have said that made my day, you know, as maybe that sounds corny. I mean, it's so simple, but, I think that's great. And to be able to do that for as many people as possible while doing this thing that makes me feel alive and makes me feel like myself is really powerful.
I have a question about that. In an effort to not make it so leading, I'm going to acknowledge one side of it.
Okay.
That I bring up.
Yes.
Making people smile and feel good.
Yeah.
There's at least two sides of this. And the one I'm going to acknowledge is the side of how much of that is, not even how much of that. I'll just acknowledge and I'll let you speak on it.
Yeah.
I made them feel good.
Right.
I made them smile.
Right.
I brightened their day. All of those start with I.
Yes.
And validates what I do and who I am and how people see me. I love to perform and I love to rap and I love to practice because I want to be great and I want people to know I'm great.
Yeah.
Versus the selfless part of it, which is I like when other people make me feel good. I know what it's like to feel good. I would like to be part of that. Not for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Could you speak on both of those sides?
Sure.
Is that too aggressive of a question?
Not at all. I think it's a really important question. You know, I think it's a really important question because I think for sure when I talk about being a kid and doing silly shit in the house and my parents saying, you're great, you're going to be famous, like that felt good for me, you know, for my little ego at that time of like, oh, great, I must be valuable in some way, you know.
Which is very, very important.
Yeah, which is important. So, you know, I think it's important for me to consider, like, to what degree am I selflessly seeking to make people joyful? Because I think that has its own innate value for more people to genuinely feel joy, right? And that whether it was me that got them there with my freestyle or something else that got them there, that would be, you know, equally great, right?
There's another specific on that, which is the latter, which is or the former, which is like making me feel good,
right?
The larger that number is, the more there is to, if they're not feeling you,
right,
it affecting your confidence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to bring them joy, but to have that expectation means if I don't, I failed.
Yeah.
Feeling a sense of failure based on other people's feelings is a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
So when you're going in, I want to make them smile. And you remove ego from it. If they don't smile, it doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
Is what I'm saying making sense at all? Because
Absolutely.
Because your ability to gather data means you're so affected by the person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, yeah, I'm going in with an expectation. I think expectations in general are dangerous, you know, because.
But how do you gather data without it?
I don't know if you can. I don't think I would be as good at freestyling as I am today if I wasn't, if I didn't care about, and I didn't have those expectations. And
Care is different than the ability to recognize. I just want to.
True.
Semantics for me.
Yes. No, you're right. You're right. I don't think I would have honed the skill to a level where it's effective as often as it is. I wouldn't be as consistent at getting those smiles if I wasn't so tuned into whether or not I was getting them. So, but that said, I do try to make space for myself to be an artist without the reaction. You know, for example, I record EPs in my studio where I'm improvising and freestyling the material.
Is your concert freestyled?
Yes.
Really? 100%?
Almost 100, like 95%.
Really?
Yes, it's improvised.
Awesome.
It's improvised.
I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Suggestions do you get? Or?
Yeah. It's dope. We have a QR code at the beginning during the DJ set.
Great.
People submit words, topics, various things. We collect those, and I'm basically swiping through them. They're appearing to me for the first time when I'm on stage. I'm creating songs live in the moment.
This is coming out early March. Do you know any dates now? But I mean, we'll put them up.
Yeah. End of March, actually. We're heading out. The first gig is, I believe, San Diego, March 25th. And we'll be out on the road for a few months, all of the U.S.
And what's your website?
HarryMacOfficial.com.
HarryMacOfficial.com for more dates. I don't want to be ending this now unless you want to go.
No,
I just want to make sure we acknowledge that.
Please, thank you. No, I'm
Any LA shows planned?
That. Yes, we have a show in LA. When is it? I'm not sure, but I could pull out my phone and tell you.
I'll have you send me a voice note
of
the date later, or
absolutely,
and then we'll just dub it in.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're around, you should come.
I would love to come.
I'll put you on the guest list. That would be incredible.
Cool, man.
No, I'm glad you mentioned it. It's really exciting. I can't wait to get back out on the road. But yes, it's mostly improvised. And yeah, we were saying I try to create space to be an artist without the reaction. At the show, there's the reaction of the crowd. It's a little different because they're my fans. So it's not like Omegle or out in public where they're complete strangers.
Is it easier because they're fans?
Yeah.
Do you have more confidence because it's easier, or less, or do you have a new sense of fear because, well, they came to see you, I have to give them something that they are expecting?
The latter. I get very nervous to go out on stage and do
Even though it's easier, you're more nervous.
Yes.
Isn't there something to the confidence of being an underdog?
Yeah. It's everything. I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It's like, what do I have to lose?
You know what's interesting about that I'm connecting to?
Yeah.
The confidence of being an underdog is the antithesis of the fear of having expectations, because it's not your expectation. It's theirs that you get to play with.
Right.
So by them having expectation, you have the upper hand.
Yes.
So in that algebra, if you have the expectation, you have the lesser hand.
Yes.
Expectations, man.
It's everything. It's
It
everything.
makes an ass out of you and me.
It does. I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's spot on.
Being an underdog makes you more confident. I wonder if everybody feels that way.
I also wonder. I don't know.
Kobe speaks on, in fact, maybe we could pull it up. I don't remember. It was a commercial of his when he was retiring.
Yeah.
Where he's playing and then somebody says, "I hate you," and then there's like kind of like a choir, like they're singing how much they hate you, and he's kind of orchestrating it.
Yeah.
Not only is he okay with people saying I hate you, it fed him.
Yeah.
So it's not negativity to him. It's just perception. It's they hate me because I'm so good.
Right.
I'm so good. Their hate means I'm beating them. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why I brought that up.
The expectations, the upper hand, the underdog.
Yeah, right. So being the underdog means that they have little expectation of you, which isn't an insult.
No.
Incidentally, when they have high expectations of you, now you might fold.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
It's crazy. It's reversed. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah. The room full of people that want me to succeed and already like what I do and have a much higher likelihood of appreciating it because they actually bought a ticket and got off their couch and came to the venue to see me. That's a scarier crowd.
Why? Are we scared of losing them, losing what we have? It's like if you go up to a girl or a guy and you hit on them and they're not interested, you walk away, you're relatively okay. But if you date that person for 4 years and they walk away, you lost something.
Yeah.
So is there some value in having these fans so there's a fear of losing them?
I think there absolutely is a value of having them for the fear of losing them. And I also think there's this concept of like, in my mind, I'm like, am I going to be what they know me to be. You know, whatever
Identity.
whatever version of Harry Mack they have in their mind. Will I live up to that tonight?
Ooh,
I don't.
loving this
You know, it's like
conversation.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't.
You don't know what they have in mind.
Yeah, like I guess I have a general idea. I assume they're a fan of my YouTube content, or maybe they've listened to, you know, my audio projects on Spotify. So there's that. But like exactly who they're expecting to see and what they're expecting to hear, how could I possibly know that? And so there's this underlying fear that I'm going to go out there, not deliver on that expectation, as opposed to a complete stranger who has no concept of who I am outside of what they're experiencing in that moment. So it's much more freeing in that way.
I feel like you were maybe not your true self when you told me that. And the
Right.
reason I feel that way is because, well, the cadence was a little different when I've seen you the most authentic. So would you mind explaining what you mean again, but say it
Yes.
a little differently?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'ma let the flames just bust. Expectations can be dangerous. People say, Mac, we love you, man. I don't feel like I got the upper hand. Yeah, when I rap for strangers, that's when I live my purpose. How can it be that I'm even more nervous when I gotta go on stage and try to take a stand in a room full of people who love me and all my fans? Why does it feel harder for me to go and kick it for people who spent the real money to buy tickets? The problem is I could go and instantly free, but I don't know if it'll match up to their image of me. I don't know what they imagine when they think about Mac. Do they think the guy that raps, the guy that makes them laugh, the guy that spreads smiles while kicking them freestyles, the guy that goes out in public and simply goes wild? Do they think about the guy who goes deep with emotion, or the guy that's cold with the bars, leaving mics frozen? See, I'm trying to imagine this external entity, and I don't know if what I do tonight will match that energy. And if it doesn't, then the people might not get down. If I don't match the perception, is that a letdown? And when I'm with a stranger, they have no idea. So anywhere I go, the path is made clear. I have the upper hand and I have full control. See, I'm the one that gets to play with levers and poles. Yeah, and they're the ones that I get to affect. So when I'm with strangers, there's no nerves, it's live and direct.
I think I get it now.
Yeah, me too. That was helpful. Thank you.
You're so good, dude. It's
Thank
so
you, man.
fun.
Thank
It's
you.
so fun listening to you, man.
Bro, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I genuinely appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't know how long we've been going because I started this an hour before you got here, the audio.
Oh, yeah. Nor do I.
I mean, more than. So I don't
Yeah.
know how long we've gone, but how do you feel?
I feel good, man.
Like, what time do you have to get out of here? I don't want to hold you hostage, but I wouldn't mind talking to you even for another little bit.
Let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it. I'm good. Yeah. This is, well, let me make sure, but I think this is the only,
I'm going to respond to a text too.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Pour up some more water. This is fun, dude.
You have such an interesting like ability and confidence while still speaking on the insecurity of it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Like that's just who you are now, right? Like you can't ever get good and like however much better you get, there can't be a place where you get to a place and you're like, I did it, right? I mean, it's just built in.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, I mean, I think I would have already been there. You know, I rap next to Kendrick Lamar, and he said that you know, he had incredibly kind things to say about me, and but yet I still feel like I'm not there yet, and that I got to keep searching.
I watch your videos and feel confident from what you give off.
Hell
like
yeah.
your music hypes me up, but also you do.
Hell
like
yes.
watching it and watching the people respond to you and watching just you be. It's just the idea of inspiring.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Whatever. I'm qualifying and I can't quite be sure, but I don't know if
Sure.
it's to make myself sound more authentic or a defensiveness, and I'm not in touch with it enough.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do think you are inspiring, and it's not specifically the music. It's like what you're doing, how you do it, why you do it. I don't remember if I said it on the podcast and walking in, but I've been a fan of yours for a while, so I'm grateful and very happy that you wanted to come and do this, man.
Man, I'm so grateful that you reached out. I'm so glad we were able to do this.
Cool.
Yeah, I am also a fan of yours, man. Now that I've had the opportunity to see some of this podcast and some of your comedy and and all the great things that you do as well, man. So really a joy to be here.
What social? We already put harrymack.com, but what else?
Just basically Harry Mack across the board. YouTube.com/Harry Mack. I'm on TikTok at Harry Mack Official. And if you Google Harry Mack, I'm out there.
I'm going to take you up on and reach out to you when Lamorne could come back on.
Please.
And I want to do stuff with us.
I would love that.
Okay.
Please do. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Scoot do. Title card. Say it for 1 second.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Blue. Scoop.